Okay, let's get this rolling. I think you guys can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Oh gosh, I have not, but yeah. Hi, hello. I have not streamed in a while. Not only that, but I've been taking my microphone back and forth between different setups. Um, so I wasn't sure if everything was gonna reconnect properly. How are you guys doing today? Oh my gosh. Cause me, I'm high on life right now. Like I'm having a great time. Um, did a little bit of work in the day. Did a little bit of. I got to go swimming for the first time in about 6 months. You know, ever since I moved from Hawaii to North Carolina, swimming wasn't really something that I could do, especially because, for one, pools, they're not beaches, they're not free. And two, I moved in the winter, so it was super cold. There was no point in swimming. Um, that's true. Billy and I were destroying Fall Guys earlier. It was awesome. Um, Let me see. What is on the agenda for today? We're gonna do a little bit of talking about Worlds. Worlds was absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean there's so much. Last week was crazy. This week been a little more chill, but even then I'm kind of dealing with the aftermath of Worlds on the publicity side of things. It's pretty crazy. But first, let's do an unboxing while we wait for more people to file in. Also, is the chat box just like not working? Come on. Why is the come on. Alright, it's time to dox myself. We have this lovely package from Amazon. I bought myself, oh my gosh, why did they tape it up so much? I did not buy this from Amazon actually. I got this from Etsy because I was like, there's anywhere else I'm going to get ninja stuff for cheap, it's probably going to be Etsy where people are just, you know, doing homemade stuff all the time. Gosh, I don't like this box. This little package is not working for me. There we go. Oh, that's right, I got them in blue. Heck to the yes. And is this a plastic bag like from the grocery stores? Bruh. Like I get that they wrapped it, I guess, but like literally attached to the it's a plastic grocery bag. Okay. Anyways, I bought me some magnetic nunchucks. So I put them on straps and then I hang them on something so when I catch them, you know, they come apart. And I have to work on the yeah, it's pretty cool. Shout out to Neon Ninja Designs on Etsy. They made these. They feel pretty nice. Feel like I could do this without chalk, but they also feel like a challenge without chalk. So that's what I like to see. It's doable, but oh gosh. Can it stay even? There we go. Anyway, so we have nunchucks now. That's pretty fun. And I got to request that they be in blue because I like blue. I'm so crushed. There's only 4 viewers. How sad. How much are they? I think they were like 20 or 25 bucks. So, solid deal. Very solid deal. Because if you were to get these anywhere else, you would probably have to pay twice as much. And if you were to make your own, it might be a little cheaper or it'd be pretty much the same price. So I was like, shoot, just let me pay for it to not so I don't have to make it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, moving on. Now that we've unboxed stuff, Worlds was crazy. I'm going to be sharing some stories now about people I met, things that basically that happened and stuff, things that I did not vlog. Um, because you're going to get a vlog not next weekend, but the weekend after that. You did miss the haul, Sasha. Unfortunate, I know. Um, it's my lovely, lovely, my nunchucks. Anyways, um, yeah, I'm gonna be sharing stuff that I'm not vlogging just because. Where the heck is the chat today? The chat's not pulling up on my stream. That's so confusing. Anyways, yeah, you're gonna get the vlog in like 2 weeks. You're gonna get one vlog next week. Sasha's editing it currently as well. That's gonna be about my time at Level Up throughout the week. I was helping out with their international qualifier where people were flying in from different countries, and they had a nice little competition there. Chad, the gym owner, and my coach, he wanted to set up a live stream for it. He had a bunch of GoPros. He wanted to put them on the course so that way it looked cool for YouTube and everything. And I said, yeah, I can help you out with that. So, you know, that's a lot of that vlog is going to be about putting together that stream. And then also there was some open gym. I got to meet a lot of really good friends, a lot of really cool ninjas. Bo from TSN, Bo from the Ninja Warrior community in general. A lot of you know Bo. I got to meet him because he came out for Worlds. And I met Jack and Hollis from the UK. If you don't know them, they've shown up on Billy's channel a lot. They're some of the best ninjas the UK has to offer. They're really dang good. Fun fact, actually, while I was heading over to Open Gym, I literally parked, and I had come back from the Coliseum where Worlds was, and I was talking to Chris because Chris Wilczewski, president of the World Ninja League, you know, he originally told me, hey, I want you to get stuff with the athletes, you know, get some interviews, get some stuff with the sponsors and the people who are, you know, the vendors who are selling their merch, because he said, like, I want to show that it's more than just the courses this year. I said, awesome, I can do that Friday night, because Friday night people were going to come in. It was going to be like the first official waves of competitors. And he said, or no, I said I could do that before the doors open, before everyone comes in. Chris said he wanted it to be when people were in, to capture the atmosphere of everything live. And I think that makes like a good amount of sense, to kind of like get the hype, you know, without thousands of people there, kind of feels empty and feels a little weird. So I totally understood that. But then just beforehand, he was like, yeah, I don't know how likely it is that you're going to get these interviews and stuff and all of this extra footage, just because there's going to be a lot of people here. And I was like, that's kind of why you asked me to do this, because there were going to be people here. Like, I was very confused. So basically, I leave the Coliseum super confused. I go to Level Up because I'm supposed to help out with their open gym, and I see Bo walking in, but then all of a sudden, he stops and he starts talking to Daniel Gill, who's walking out. And I was like, what the heck is Daniel Gill doing here? I knew he was doing a meet and greet at Worlds, but I was like, why is he 25 minutes away from Worlds right now? You know, why is he at Level Up? And he knows Bo. He's coached Bo for years. So, you know, they were just catching up. That was really cool. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, I need to, like, talk to him right now. I need to, like, actually get my stuff going and figure out what I'm doing for work, you know? So as he's, like, loading up the trunk of his car, I felt so bad. But I flagged him down just to kind of be like, hey, I'm Kane. I'm supposed to be interviewing athletes, blah, 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 blah. Would you be down to do that sometime tomorrow during Friday night when everyone comes in? And he said, yeah, absolutely. He was super, super, super nice about everything. And he ended up giving me his number. So I have Daniel Gill's phone number now, guys. Hiya, that's awesome. No, I am serious about that, though. I do have his number. But yeah, it was just like, it kind of worked out perfectly because once that got the ball rolling on Friday night, I was really starting to get more into a groove with my interviews in general. So that was a lot. That was a lot of relief, because I was like, oh my gosh, how much am I gonna get done? Um, and I ended up getting pretty much everything that I needed to get done for the day done. There were four ninjas who were doing meet and greets. It was Caleb Bergstrom and Isabella Wakeham because they were the world champions last year, so they wanted to really like make a big deal out of it. Daniel Gill, obviously, I just said was doing a meet and greet. The fourth person was the only one that I didn't get to interview. It was Jessie Lebrecq. She was out. She was walking around. She was coaching some kids who were, running stage one at the time. So it's like you can't falter. Like I like that's the thing about a lot of these ninjas. Not only are they athletes competing, not only are they supposed to be like public figures, but they are also coaching. So they're very busy as well. So I never got that interview with Jessie Lebrecq. A bit of a bummer. They wanted me to interview more female athletes, and they said like at the minimum get Isabella and Jessie because they're the two for the meet and greets. And I did not end up getting to do. I only got to interview Isabella. Sam and Isabella, Sam Folsom, Isabella Wakeham, they're so nice, man. They're great. I met them a few months back at the NSC championships, and they were super nice. I was coming in like, I'm around these guys' age. I think I'm a little older than them. I think they're like 20 or something like that, and I'm 21, or at least Sam's 20, and it was one of those things where like I went in to like kind of talk to Isabella about doing an interview, and immediately she was just like, hey Kane, and I was like, oh cool, they remember me, like it's cool. Like a lot of people I ended up passing by, they didn't really like remember me. I didn't talk to them a whole bunch, to be fair, when I was at NSC, so it's like it's totally fine. Like Isaiah Thomas, cool dude, super nice guy, he didn't remember me from NSC. I didn't expect him to. I didn't expect anyone to remember me from NSC. So like I hold no grudges, no hard feelings whatsoever. But it was nice that like Sam and Isabella were like, "Oh, what's up? It's Kane. Like, welcome back. Like, good to see you again." Like that was cool. Yeah, they're super nice people. Um, I'm gonna Teoma's in the chat talking about Jay after his ankle. I'm gonna do a whole spiel about Jay because Jay was like my favorite part of Worlds in general, like on the competition side. I'll get to that in a bit. What else happened day one on Friday? I interviewed one of the first people I found and asked for an interview was Joe Moravsky. I figured, he's a former world champion, and not only that, he's just a very popular ninja. He's a name that a lot of OG ANW fans recognize, and a lot of he's an athlete that a lot of current athletes and fans look up to. So I've heard not a lot of, but I've heard some things like meeting Joe is like not like not the best, and that he's sometimes I've heard like, oh, he's so nice and he was great to my kids and everything. Other times I hear like, oh, his political views are bad and I don't want to talk to him. He seemed very standoffish and rude. And I'm like, look, for one, I don't care about political views. Like I don't have any. So like why should I care about other people's? Um and it was one of those things where I was like, look, man, I'm just going to meet the guy, do an interview, and then like see for myself, form my own opinion. If Joe was like this bad guy, I don't think he would be welcomed into so many different corners of the ninja community still. You know what I'm saying? Like especially after the Drew stuff, everyone's really cracked down on that stuff. If Joe was a bad person, he would not be in the ninja community still. But anyways, I met him. 10 out of 10. Joe was such a nice guy. He was so chill about just like random guy coming up asking for an interview for the league. He was like totally cool with that. He joined Alex and I in on commentary for stage 3, and yeah, we were just talking, we were joking, yeah, he was a really nice dude. Um, so yeah, whatever negative things people say about Joe, I personally don't believe it. I mean, you can always, uh, form your own opinions off your own experiences and stuff. But yeah, Joe was great. Joe was absolutely great. Um, I met Flip. That was pretty cool. It was very brief. Flip was coaching, and I just figure I say hi. I've been in his Twitch chats, and now he streams on Kick. So I've been in his stream chats when I can be, like maybe like once a month. I'm not super busy to the point where, yeah, I'm not like super free. I mean, to the point where I can tune into every stream and stuff. But when I have time, yeah, I check in every now and again. And he recognized the name. Like I said, like, I'm Kane. I've been in your chats. And he was like, oh, sick. That's cool. It was very, very short though. It was actually I was talking to him in the warm up zone of, in the warm up zone of the kids course, and he had a kid that he was coaching. So I didn't want to, take up too much of his time. I just asked for a photo. He was super chill. And then I wished the kid luck because I felt like it was weird to just have like a 7-year-old standing there while I was like, hey man, big fan. Like, that's just weird. I wish the kid luck. And then I said thanks to Flip, and then I left. What are some other ones? Donovan Matoyer. Donovan Matoyer was great. um, so the first thing, they had a bouncy house in, like one of those bouncy house obstacle races at Worlds. It was just like a fun activity for like little kids who were waiting because they were waiting for their brother or sister to run the course or something, or athletes who, like, oh, they finished all their stuff, now they have time to play. And I was like, I want to race a pro ninja. Originally, I was like, let's get Grant McCartney, and Grant was like, I would love to, and you'll see us talk about it in the vlog. Grant McCartney said that he wanted to, but he's 205, and he was worried that he was going to deflate the bouncy house. And I was like, honestly, totally fair. It's built for children, and I am lighter than some people who are 13 years old. So, yeah, so you'll see that in the vlog in a couple weeks. But anyways, Bo and I were walking around, and I was like, well, who would say yes? And immediately I turned my head. I see Donovan Matoyer in the suit and everything, and I was like, Donovan looks like he would say yes. He just seems like the kind of guy who, if I talked to him about it and told him what we were doing, he would say yes. So I go over to him, and I just kind of tap his shoulder, say like, hey man, what's up? I wanted to say nice to meet you. And he goes, oh snap, no way, what's up, dude? I'm on your Discord. And I was like, Donovan Matoyer's on our Discord? Because, man, I was tripping because there was a time where someone joined with Donovan Matoyer's like profile picture and everything, and it was like someone pretending to be Donovan. But then there was also someone else similar to that who like joined, and we were like, could that be the real Donovan? Now we know. This was like a year and a half ago. Now we know that he's on the server. I edited together the night, like on Friday night. I edited together advertisements, the interviews with ninjas. So I put them all together for like an ad package. So that way on stream, in between waves of athletes, it would play like advertisements about upcoming competitions, interviews with athletes, stuff about our sponsors. And it was really good. I got really good reception from it as well. That was really nice. But anyways, Donovan was saying like, yeah, I was watching that stuff on the stream last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, they got Kane Nakasugi in the building, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, there is no way Donovan Matoyer was just like, that's Kane Nakasugi. I was like, yeah. Needless to say, that was the stuff that was off camera. But I did ask him to race in the bouncy house, and that race is going to be in the vlog. That vlog's going to be out in 2 weeks. So that was hilarious. That was like one of the highlights of the day. I was like, there is no way that actually just happened. He was such a nice dude. He was so chill. I'll show my souvenir. I got this lovely plaque. I got it from the Paper Cut Ninja. You can see the whole reflection of everything going on there. says World Ninja League Championships 2023. Has North Carolina with a ninja on it. It was really cool. I got you can check out Papercut Ninja on Instagram, signed by Papercut Ninja himself. I got the last one of those. That was actually the one that was on display all weekend, and I bought the last one because I bought everything super last minute, and it was a bummer because I got it and I was super happy about it, but there was this little kid who wanted the same exact thing, and I took it from I not took it, but I bought it, and the 8-year-old couldn't get it. It was so bad, dude. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Yeah, but I'm glad I have it. You know, it's something to have on my desk, and I really wanted it. Trying to think of what else before I get to like the major stuff. The two major like things I wanted to talk about. Who else? It's kind of it. I mean, I met my friends. Oh man, I met so many people from the online ninja community. So many more than I expected. Alex and Phil were working. They work for the league, so I knew I was going to meet them in person. It was very nice to meet them finally. They were hilarious. They were great. Bo, obviously, I talked about Bo quite a bit already. Alex, Phil, and I got to be on commentary for the elites stage 1 through 3 for the World Ninja League Championships. That was great doing commentary with them. It was pretty nice because normally it's Alex on commentary, Phil doing the cameras and stuff like that. So the fact that they were like, yeah, Kane, come in and help us out and everything, that made me feel really nice. That was really, really cool. And I really appreciate them for letting me sit in the booth with them. And then later on for stage 3, Joe Moravsky was on commentary with us, and Joe was awesome. Like it was, again, just such a great time doing commentary. I met Bubba Ace. That's a Roblox name and a half. Also Aussie from the Roblox community. I met them in person. I was not expecting that whatsoever. Like, I had no idea that they were going to be there. I didn't really know a lot about Aussie, to be honest, but I knew of Aussie. Super nice guy. And then Bubba, I didn't even know he was there. And, like, literally, I was called in by Phil and Alex to take a picture, and they were like, it's Aussie, and I like said, hi Aussie, nice to meet you, and everything. He was like, and Bubba, and I was like, what's up, Bubba? And then it like clicked, like in the half second, I was like, what's up, Bubba, nice to meet you. And then I went, oh, Bubba. I was like, this is Bubba? And they were like, yeah, man, this is so cool. Bubba was so chill. He was so happy to be there. You know, he was enjoying his time. Yeah, what a legend. They were all just so cool. We're gonna move on to the two big ones. The two biggest ones for me. Actually, no. There's so much more. I hung out with Joe Meisner for a little bit. Basically, the awards ceremony takes 2.5 hours. So a lot of people were sitting there for their, for themselves or for their friends or their kids that they coach. Joe Meisner was one of those people. And I interviewed Joe a while back for the WNL podcast. And he and I were just kind of laughing about stuff in general, and we were cracking some jokes and talking about the event as a whole. It was great. We were having a great time. We hung out for about 20-30 minutes. I spent a lot of the rest of the time with the French competitors, which I am going to get into in just a bit, because the French competitors are a whole different story. They're a whole different story. Ran into some friends from the Tier 2 World Championships. They were super duper nice once again, not a surprise. It was nice to also see that one of them, Natasha, she was in the Masters Female division. She got on the podium quite a lot. It was great to see a Tier 2 competitor like really represent and get up on the podium for different skills and whatnot. Very, very exciting. Did a lot of hanging out with my team Level Up, or as much as I could in between working. And it was really nice to like share the hype. Those guys are so talented, and they have so much energy and so much hype that it was just like every time someone hit the buzzer, it was just 10 people never sounded louder. Really, genuinely, like 10 people at a time. It never sounded louder. Except for maybe when my family is loud, because my family can be pretty loud too. But yeah, it was just such a good community, such a good group. I couldn't ask for a better gym family there. Okay, now we're on to the two big ones. The hmm, should I talk should I talk about the French competitors first, or should I talk about Jay Lewis? I'll let y'all decide. I'll wait. I know there's like a slight chat delay. I see one vote for Tuis. French Jay Lewis. Uh, Thank you, Flo. That was all right. We'll talk about Jay first. Yeah. So Jay, I hate to break it to you guys. I'm gonna spoil a little bit of A and W. Okay. Uh, while doing a, I hate to say this. I don't want to spoil Vegas, but I'm going to. Because it's at the end of the day something you're not going to see. So in season 15 of A&W, Three Ring Circus is back, and they actually gave everybody a practice attempt on Three Ring Circus. Jay broke his ankle on the dismount, like snapped it, broken. He was in a boot for a long time. Um, I will not say whether or not he qualified for Vegas for either season 15 or 16. I don't want to spoil that. But basically, just assume that any Vegases that he qualified for, he could not compete in. He will not be in any finales like that because he broke his ankle. Regardless of how he does in qualifiers and semifinals, this season and next season, if he makes it to Vegas, he's not competing. Um, Really, really, really unfortunate, especially given I think we all know Jay's skill level. We all know what he's capable of. And we all know that he's one of those people who could definitely make it to the rope. Definitely could have a shot based on depending on how much he's improved on his climbing. He could win it, right? Very, very, very sad. Um, I met Jay a few months back at the NSC Championships in person. I've kind of talked to him on and off before that. He seemed really nice. It was really cool and everything. And I ran into him again at Worlds, and it was really cool to talk to him, kind of ask what was happening, because I saw him on Friday, last week Friday. That same Monday, the doctors cleared him to compete at Worlds. They said like you're good, which was kind of weird because he told me like he could he was allowed to do ninja, but he was not allowed to run or jog. Yeah, like that's yeah. So last week Monday, he got cleared to compete. He signed up on like Tuesday, and then he told me he was kind of like iffy on competing or not. He decided to compete. He gets second in the world. Second in the world with a bad ankle. He makes it to stage 3 and almost beats stage 3. Um it was I got really excited. I got a little emotional, honestly. There were a lot of really good moments in Worlds, if you guys didn't know. Um Isabella Wakeham, who is the back-to-back champ, had to run stage 1 twice because on the last obstacle one of the bars was loose and she failed. But because the bar was loose, we had to retighten it and give her a rerun. So she made it to the very same spot, the aka the end of the stage, and then she hit the buzzer. She did stage 1, the entirety of stage 1, twice in the span of like 30 minutes. It was unreal. So cool. Like moments like that, absolutely, absolutely electric. Like so fun. And Jay, every time Jay was on the course, that was exactly how it felt for me. Like I was excited. Like it was hard to stay professional and contain my excitement while expressing that properly when I was doing commentary, you know? Um, so at the end of everything, I got up, Alex, Phil, and I, we had like a group hug. We had like our moment where we were like, this was awesome. This was a great experience. I thanked them again for like helping me get the job, with the league and everything. And I see Jay, he's kind of off on his own. He's packing up his stuff. And I was like, okay, he doesn't seem to be like too busy or anything. I'm gonna go talk to him for a second. So I walk up to him and I go like, Jay, can I give you a hug, man? And he's like, yeah, man, bring it. And so like we hug it out, and I just tell him like I tell him everything I just said. Like that was like honestly, it was one of the most inspired runs I've ever seen. Like it's I have not watched a ninja run in years and felt inspired off of the run alone. Cause you know what I mean? Like it's the fluff pieces, it's the whatever on the TV shows that get you emotionally attached. And with Jay, it was like he just ran the course. And of course I knew about his ankle, but he just ran the course. And it was one of those things where I was just like, you did awesome. Like I assumed that you probably wanted to win. But at the same time, like I hope you're really proud of yourself because this was absolutely insane. Um, and he turned the tables on me. I was very surprised. He basically goes on to say like that it's great that the league is hiring people like me, and I was like, what? I was like, and he just started talking about how like he's seen some of my stuff. He likes that I'm trying to like get around to like the international side of ninja and everything, and raise more awareness about the world of ninja as a whole. And he thinks I was a great fit for the job and everything. And he liked the interviews that I uploaded. He's telling me all this stuff, and I was like, dude, I came here to hype you up. Like this is like, it was a really nice moment, basically, and it was not something I expected because the only time I do stuff for views, quite frankly, is when I make Sasuke videos. Anything else I'm just doing for fun or because I want to or because I like it. Sasuke videos I don't really care to make, but I know that they're going to get views, so I make them. So when Jay was like talking to me about that stuff, it hit, man. It hit. And then there were like some kids who started to ask him for pictures and everything. I let him go on his own, let him go back to his friends, celebrate his family, anything like that. Yeah, it was great. It was great. I did leak the YouTube cheat code. Just make a video and put Sasuke in the title. I could put a black screen on for an hour. Title it Sasuke 41 Rumors. And it would get like almost 1,000 views. Anyways, yeah, so talking to Jay was like, that was a highlight as well. I don't think a lot of these guys understand. Like, I got a few compliments, quite a few compliments on the work I was doing. I don't think they really understand how much it made my day. Sam said some nice things about it. Isabella said some nice things about it. And a lot of the other staff members as well, they noticed, and that was really cool. It was one of those things where, like, I moved out here for this. I didn't move to North Carolina because of scenery or cost of living or anything like that. I would have gone somewhere else. I came here to do ninja. I came here to, be closer to the heart of the world championships. I came here to be at a gym consistently, to practice these obstacles and understand how everything works. And so to hear the positive reception, to hear that it's paying off, like, it made me feel really good. It made me feel really good. And I think that's another big reason why Worlds, for me, so high up there. All right, we're going to lighten the mood a little bit. We're going to talk about the French competitors. Oh my gosh. Dude, I made so many good friends on that French team. I want them to come back. I really hope they come back. And they said they want to, but it would depend on the money. And I get it. Coming from France to the United States every year is not cheap. So it's one of those things where they gotta figure it out at some point, and that's totally fair. It started at the international competition because I knew that they were coming to level up for that competition. I knew I was going to do commentary over there, so I knew I was going to meet them. I introduced them. I shoot my shot. Over there is Clement Gravier and Ilian Sharif. They're The two most recent champions of Ninja Warrior France. Uh, Clement made it faster and got the money. Ilion got Jeff Brittoned. But they both made it up the rope. Also, there was Morangelique, who's been the last woman standing quite a lot on that show. And Matthias Noirel. I don't remember fully how to say his full name. Clement Allard. Man, so many good. They're just such nice guys. And so my friend Asher and Asher trains at Level Up with me. We just started talking to people at Level Up after the competition, and I was like super excited. I got them in the vlog a little bit, so they'll be in the Level Up vlog coming out next week. But you know, they were asking us like, where can you get good food here, or asking us about what the course is going to be like, or what Worlds is like, because they watched some stuff on YouTube kind of, but they also didn't know that the YouTube existed. Like, some of them didn't know the YouTube existed for World Ninja League. So like, I helped them get so many different, not only like let them get research on the courses in the past, but also like allowed them to share like this Worlds with their loved ones back in France, so that way they could watch it live. Ilion and Matthias definitely spoke the best English, so I was talking to them the most, Ilion especially. And we were just talking about ninja, we were talking about climbing. I showed them the vault. The vault is our archives of every ninja show ever. And I showed them, like, I have Ninja Warrior France on there, and they all got like so excited. Like, the idea to them that they had fans was so exciting to them. And for them to see that someone from America literally went as far as to pirate the entire show, I think like they were very happy about that. They were very happy about that. So that was really cool as well. I ran into them quite a lot at Worlds, or I would try and find them so that way we could hang out. Ilion and I, again, did a lot of talking, and it was hilarious because one of the times he was like, I went to Taco Bell for the first time. And I was like, Taco Bell? He's like, I was like, you guys don't have Taco Bell in France? He was like, no. He's like, we have McDonald's and KFC. I was like, how the heck do you have KFC, but like not Taco Bell? I was so shook by that. And you know, he's now obsessed with Taco Bell. They went like 2 or 3 times that weekend. It was hilarious. And I started making recommendations for them on the menu, just based off of what was popular, what I thought they would like based off of what they ordered the first time. They loved it. Like, Ilion literally left. He got a medal for one of the skills, and then I was hanging out with him the whole time. And he got his medal, and then he was like, I'm gonna go to Taco Bell. Like, he left. He was like, I want food. And then he came back like an hour later with Taco Bell. It was so funny. I was just like, bro, this is amazing. A lot of them, not a lot of them, but a few of them were smokers. And so, like, they all asked me if I wanted to come outside and hang out with them towards the end of the day. Like, the course runs were pretty much done, or they were done, and they were going to get going with awards soon. And I was like, yeah, let's go hang out with them. I don't have to do anything right now. Like, I didn't have to work so much. So I go out there while they all took like a little smoke break. And they were saying that like, oh yeah, this is why we're bad at ninja, because we smoke or whatever. And I fully see Radium mention Nagano. I fully explained that Nagano was a smoker, and they started laughing so hard. And then the funniest damn thing, Ilion literally was like, do you know where I can buy alcohol? And yeah, he still is a smoker. He goes, so Ilion goes, do you know where I can buy alcohol? And I called it booze just because I was like, I'm used to calling it booze. He had no clue what that meant. I taught them what booze meant. That was great. That was a core memory. Teaching 60 French people the word booze. But they wanted to drink. Everything was closed because it was Sunday, and it was closed. But the first DM I have with Ninja Warrior France champion Ilion Sharif is a screenshot and link of different liquor stores close to where they were staying. It still cracks me up, man, because I was over here like, oh man, I'm such a big fan. Like, I'm so excited. I hope they know English. And they're like, do you know where we can get alcohol? I was like, sure, let's make it happen. It was hilarious. Yeah, it was so funny, but they were really cool. Um, they were they saw Alex and I um doing commentary and stuff, and what's up, Jakari? They saw Alex and I doing commentary for the Elite Division because a lot of them are in the Elite Division, and later on, a couple of them were like, "You're speaking? You're the speaker?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm speaking for your guys' runs." And they're like, that's awesome." They were like so chill about it. I in that conversation as well. I ended up adding them on YouTube and not Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. I got a couple of them on YouTube as well, and they subscribed to me as well. So that was cool. And then they like some of them they were calling me Kane, and others were calling me Speaker Man. American Speaker Man was my full name by the end of the weekend, and it was hilarious because they're like, "Hey, it's Speaker Man, it's American Speaker Man," and then one of them goes, "The best American Speaker Man," and they're all like, "Yeah!" It was so freaking funny. Oh man. No, I had such a good time with that. They were such a fun group, and they were so happy to be there. They were so good at what they did. Um, so American Speaker Man, Kane Nakasugi. Ilian and Matthias also told me that I should apply for A&W if there's a future season for clout. I said, like, I don't really want to do it. It's kind of rigged. And they were like, yeah, but your YouTube could get views. And I was like, bro, oh, violated. But also they have such a huge point. Like I would get a following. But nah, yeah, Worlds was incredible. I said it to Chris. I said it on Instagram. If I was not getting married this year, Worlds would be my favorite. It would be the highlight of my entire year. Um, but I'm getting married this year, and that's obviously what I've been looking forward to the most. Uh, but oh my gosh, guys, this was nuts. This was crazy, and I'm so happy to have gotten to be a part of it. I'm so happy to um, have been more involved. I'm happy to have made some new friends. I'm happy to kind of have some feet in the ground in this ninja world now, outside of guy who does YouTube for people on Discord. Um, I'm still very happy to be doing YouTube for all the people on Discord. Don't interpret that as something bad. I've made progress, and this was everything I could have asked for and more. Um, yeah, made some really good friends, and I'm very excited for next year. The idea of possibly more people coming. Um, I'll be competing next year as well, for sure. I didn't want to compete this year. You'll see why. We recorded a test run, and that'll go in the vlog. I tested stage one. I was wearing a polo and like black jeans. It was awful. Um, but basically, long story short, I knew that with my lack of experience and stuff right now, this wasn't exactly something that I wanted to register for because I wasn't like, yeah, I'll be good. Next year, with another year of experience, um, I'm fully planning on uh, I'm fully planning on giving it my best shot, and I want to get that stage one buzzer at the minimum next year. Stage one, really, really hope it works out. Um, and I've been training for it. I've been training for it since tier two ended. Basically, I really, really got into it, especially at the beginning of June, and that's continuing now throughout July and everything else. Next season is going to be a great one. and I'll also be working still. I want to be involved. What role will I be playing next year? We'll see. I have some ideas, as well as things that I can fix that maybe didn't go as well for me on the work side of things this year, so I can improve it next year. I did not tell Alex, I did not tell them what the intro of the vlog is. They're just going to have to be surprised. I am mainly talking about stuff that was off camera, just because the stuff that they are going to see on camera is going to be out in 2 weeks. I'm going to be real Kane. I'm right proud of you. I've seen you go through everything from running the server to having some of the best positions at Worlds. I feel like I've been... Billy, thank you so much, dude. It's been crazy. It's been a journey, and like, honestly, like, it doesn't feel like a big journey just because it was, you moved, I moved, I did a couple beginner competitions, and I've met a good amount of really cool people at Worlds. But at the same time, like, for a lifelong fan and for someone who's hoping that this only improves over time, I think that this is a great step in the right direction, and I think that as this next year progresses, it's gonna be big. With that said, we're gonna move on to our second part of this stream. Technically third if you count the unboxing. We're gonna do the Ninja Community Survey. I am going to be filling this out. Essentially what it is a survey conducted by a longtime member of the community, Bonzu Queen, you might know her as. And essentially, she's trying to figure out, who watches what ninja shows, and what those biases are for ninja shows as well. Do people hate on one show more than the other, and if so, why? Do people love a show for nostalgia, or because it's their home country, or just because they think it's a good show in general? If you guys want, please fill this out if you haven't filled it out already. I just put the link in the stream chat. It's something where we're trying to get as many different opinions as possible, so that way we can actually have a lot of variety with the results. I'm going to be filling mine out right now. Let me change I just realized the chat is now white on white. Let's change the color. Color to black. We'll go with, there we go. All right, let's go here. Please be aware that the data will be used for an upcoming video and may not be anonymous. It's fine. When asked about if you have watched a specific season, please use the following criteria. If it is a single episode tournament or only the national finals like Sasuke, please only answer if you've seen the entire tournament. For serialized shows such as A&W, you do not need to have seen every single episode, but please only answer if you have seen the entire national finals. Watching qualifiers or the entire season is preferable. Rating system: unwatchable, unenjoyable, average, great, and outstanding. Oh, this is going to be an interesting rating system. If we're just breaking it up into 5 different things, oh, this is going to be very fun. Here we go. What is your Discord, Reddit, Twitter handle? I am Kane, not Kasugi. Country, United States. How many years have you been a ninja fan? Almost 17, because I'm almost 22. So we're going to go 17 years old. Have you ever watched Sasuke? Yes. All right, here we go. Sasuke 1. I'm going to speedrun Sasuke because it's Sasuke 1's average. Sasuke 2's great. Sasuke 3's great. Sasuke 4 is outstanding. Sasuke 5's great. Sasuke 6 is average. Sasuke 7's great. 8 is great. 9 is average. 10 is average. Moving on. 11, I think, is great. 12's outstanding. 13, great. 14, great. 15, average. 16, average. 17, outstanding. 18, great. 19, unenjoyable. 20, unwatchable. Yeah, there we go. 21, average. 22, average. 23, outstanding. 24, outstanding. 25, great. 26, average. 27, average. 28, unenjoyable. 29, unenjoyable. 30, unenjoyable. Sasuke 31 is average, 32 is unenjoyable, 33 is unwatchable, 34 is unenjoyable, 35 is average, 36 is outstanding. Actually, 35 is great, 36 is outstanding, 37 is great, 38 is average, 39 is unenjoyable, 40 I mean. 40 is, it's like a 6. I gave it a 6.5 in my review. So I was like, is it great or is it average? I'm going to go with average because the editing really is that bad. What was the first Sasuke tournament where you watched the Japanese broadcast live? That was Sasuke 33. If you had to pick one singular tournament you'd call the best, it would be Sasuke 17 because I am absolutely a Nagano super fan. If you had to pick one singular tournament you'd call the worst, it would be 33. Favorite Sasuke competitor is Makoto Nagano. Sasuke competitor I think is the GOAT is Yusuke Morimoto. Sasuke competitor that you think is most likely to win in the future who has not won before, I am going to go with Yoshiyuki Yamamoto. I think those are relatively cold takes on those three answers. I'm surprised no one's really commented on those takes yet, but it was crazy. We speed ran that, and now we're going to try and speed run Kunoichi. There's only 11 of them, so let's do it. I have watched Kunoichi. Kunoichi 1 is it's average. 2 is average. 3 is it's like on the high end of average. 4 is great. 5 is great. 6 is average. 7 is great. 8 is unenjoyable. 9 average. Actually, I like average. I think 9 through 11 are average. They're not bad, but they're not amazing. If you had to pick one singular tournament to call the best, it'd be Kunoichi 7. And if I had to pick one to be the worst, I really do not like Kunoichi 8, but 1 and 2 are also pretty low. Have you ever watched Viking, the Ultimate Obstacle Course? Yes, I have. Here we go. Viking 1, average. Viking 2, outstanding. Nagano bias. No, I'll give it great. Viking 3 was great. Viking 4 was average. Pair Viking 1 was average. Pair Viking 2 was great. Pair Viking 3 was average. Family, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care too much for the family ones. So, yeah. Have you ever watched A&W? Here we go. This is gonna be a long one because I've watched everything. American Ninja Warrior 1 is... I enjoy it. It's not objectively good. That's the problem. It's not good, but I enjoy it. So I guess I'll give it average. A&W 2, I did not enjoy. A&W 3, I only enjoyed a little more. A&W 4 is average. A&W 5, I love A&W 5. A&W 6, I think is great. 7's outstanding. 8 is great. I'm on the side of people that like 8. 9 and 10 are... 9 is unenjoyable. 10 is unwatchable. 11, I'm going to go with great. 12, I'm going to go with average. Hot take, I still kind of prefer A&W 12 over a lot of seasons. A&W 13 is unenjoyable. A&W 14 is average. A&W 15 so far has been unenjoyable. If I had to pick one singular tournament to call the best, I'd pick A&W 5. The worst, I'm going to honestly say A&W 1. Favorite A&W competitor? I've never really, picked. I went through a massive phase where Adam Rail was, my guy. But now that I know people personally, I gotta go with Jay. Who do I think is the greatest of all time? None. That's gonna be episode 3 of Soapbox, actually. We're gonna go over the GOAT debate for Ninja, and I'll explain. I know... N.A. Okay. Team Ninja Warrior. Team Ninja Warrior was alright. College Madness, not that great. Team Ninja Warrior 2 was alright. And Ninja vs. Ninja was alright. A&W Junior is borderline unwatchable in the first season. It's average in the second season. And then it's unenjoyable in the third. Yeah. USA vs. Japan was unenjoyable. USA vs. the World was actually pretty great. Versus the World 2 was average. Versus the World 3, I'm going to go with average. 4, average. All of these are average, and then the last one was unenjoyable. Just unenjoyable as a whole. Have you ever watched Australian Ninja Warrior? Yes, I have. Here we go. Australia Ninja Warrior 1 is average, so is 2, but 3 is great, 4 is outstanding, and 5 goes back down to great before going to unwatchable Season 6. Simple as that. Have I ever watched Ninja Warrior France, Le Parcours de Hero? Yes. Yes, I have. Ninja Warrior France 1 is unenjoyable, 2 is average, 3 is average, 4 is great, 5 is great, 6 is average, and 7 is unenjoyable. Yeah, I feel very fair with that. Germany. Here we go. One of the better international shows. Germany 1's average. Germany 2's average. Germany 3 is, I'm going to say, low tier of great. Germany 4 is also great, and so is 5. 6 is outstanding, and 5 or 7 brings it back down to average. Team Ninja Warrior Germany 1 is just average. Same for that. They're just okay. Unwatchable. Germany Kids is unwatchable. All Stars 1 was average. All Stars 2 was great. Yeah. Yeah. We're speedrunning this. Anyone else want to comment on this stuff? Here we go. All right. Oh, you guys. I have to rip into Ninja Israel right now? Okay, let's do it. Unwatchable. 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 Average. Unwatchable. Unwatchable. All of them. All of them. All of them except for Season 4. Season 4 was okay. Have I ever watched Sasuke Vietnam? Yes, I have. Unenjoyable. I'm going to go average. I'm going to go with unenjoyable, average, and average. Yeah. Any other international version of Sasuke, Viking, or Ninja Warrior? Yes. Yes, I have. Malaysia, I have not seen. Singapore, I'm giving average. X-Warrior, unenjoyable. Indonesia, average. Indonesia 2, average. Operation Midoriyama 1. Ooh. All of these are kind of mid, except for, like, all of Indonesia's stuff, except for Indonesia versus the World, is average. Indonesia versus the World was great. I would recommend watching that. We have it in the vault. Sasuke Mongolia is unwatchable. Super Viking is unwatchable. Ninja Warrior Denmark, the solo season, the individual classic season, is average. Team Ninja Warrior Denmark is... Actually, no, I swapped it. The team one was okay because it was races and it was faster. The original one, not that fun because it was slower. Ninja Warrior Hungary 1 is unenjoyable, so is Hungary 2, but Hungary 3 is average. Ninja Warrior Italy is average. Netherlands is unenjoyable. Poland 1's unwatchable. Poland 2's unwatchable. 3 and 4 is unenjoyable, but it's watchable. 5 is average. 6 is average. 7 is average. Poland's improved. Romania. Wow, we even got Romania in here. And the Russian shows. Okay, here we go. Romania is unenjoyable. Russia 1's unenjoyable. 2 is average. And 3 is average. Super Ninja, I'm going to say average. Spain, I would say average. But Spain 2, I would argue that it's great. I would actually argue that Spain 2 is pretty good. Sweden is unenjoyable in both seasons. Switzerland is average and then great. I really like Switzerland Season 2, actually. Again, go watch that one. Turkey, unwatchable. Turkey 2, unwatchable. Austria 1, unenjoyable. Austria 2, hot take, great. And then Austria 3 is average. UK. How did UK not have its own tab? The disrespect to Ninja Warrior UK. Ninja Warrior UK 1 was unenjoyable, so was 2. 3 was average, 4 I think was great, and 5 I think was great. 6 was average. Arabia is unwatchable. Kid Stronger is unwatchable. Vitezovi is... no, it's enjoyable. I'm going to give it average. Challenge the Limit, unenjoyable. Happy Forward, average. Happy Forward's fun, at least. Out of every international adaptation, you think the very best is... I mean, look... There's Sasuke on the list, and objectively speaking, Sasuke is the best. Sasuke... I want to give it to Ninja Warrior Germany. I really think Ninja Warrior Germany deserves the shout out. But if you're going to put Sasuke on the list, I am going to put Sasuke on there. Well, okay, let's think about this. Sasuke had a really good run of 27 tournaments with only a couple bad ones in the first 27, and then they fumbled 28 to 40. Germany has had 7 good slash decent slash great seasons. They've never had a bad season, in my opinion. Which do I enjoy more? Is it the nostalgia in me wanting to say Sasuke? Because I don't like the way TBS edits it. I like the way G4 edits Sasuke. But I like the way Germany is. What is the worst? The worst. Oh, this is harder than best. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. The worst. Israel's in the conversation. Super Vikings in the conversation. Mongolia's in the conversation. Turkey's in the conversation. Yeah, Amber, that's why I went with Germany, because that means only like 2/3 of the show is good. Um, it's tough, man. Super Viking on the list it makes it harder for me to click automatically another show. But at least Super Viking was a little more creative than Sasuke Mongolia, so I will say Mongolia. Your favorite competitor from any ninja series is still Makoto Nagano. I don't think it'll ever change. The competitor from any ninja series you think is the greatest of all time is none. The competitor you think most likely to win in the future who has not won before. Crap. That's tough. I'll go with Max Gerner from Germany. But I'm going to make a list here. I am still going to put Yoshiyuki on the list. Yoshiyuki, Yamamoto. Who hasn't won? Who hasn't won? In Europe, Australia is not coming back most likely. So I can rule out the Australians. Alex, how do I spell Jan's name? Jan, because Jan could win Poland. I do think that he could win Poland. There we go. Tatarovics. Again, I'm going to make a list. I'm not going to fill out anything for ANW. There's too many people who I think have the potential of winning. And then besides that, Israel as repeat winners. Oh, I'll put Charles Pujad. I don't know what I'm thinking. There we go. He got so close to winning in France 7. Victor is a good shout. I'm not going to put him on the list, but he's a great shout. My favorite Kanzen is and always going to be Makoto Nagano. Why is this not in chronological order? This hurts. There we go. Although, I mean, okay, look. Kanzens that I really enjoyed. Jeff and Isaacs. Renee's was very satisfying. Moritz, by extension, was also very satisfying. Rai finally winning was great. Yogev winning this year in 2023. That was a big one because he went from being number 2 to number 1. Yusuke in 38 is a special place in my heart because that's the first Kanzen I saw live for Sasuke, at least. Rie, I don't care, man. I whatever. The triple Kanzen in Australia was pretty nice. Yuval was something that made me very happy. Because Yuval in season 1 made it to the final and timed up. So to kind of have that era of the show come full circle with him getting the Kanzen, that was really nice. But yeah, nothing's going to beat Nagano's Kanzen for me. Yeah, like I could Kanzen and I would still prefer Nagano's Kanzen as a moment. Like that's how much I love that moment. Anyways. I have watched Unbeatable Banzuke. I have watched Sportsman. Okay. I'm going to be real. I haven't watched MXC. Kind of crazy. I have an attachment to Takeshi's Castle. I watch all the stuff that they put on the vault. I'm not even kidding. I barely ever watched MXC. Hi, Nathan. Favorite part of Nagano's Kanzen is that he kept coming close. Yes. Yes. It was so nice to see him finally win. Yeah, so I haven't watched MXC, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but Billy, it makes sense that you haven't watched MXC. I'm American, and they aired it when I was, yeah. But at the same time, I was on the younger side. Like, it's amazing that I was on. It's amazing that I found G4 when I did because I was a little kid, and G4 isn't exactly a little kid channel. I understand this survey was quite long, but your effort is appreciated and the information is valuable. Please stay tuned for the results in the future. And submit. Again, if you guys want to fill out that form, which I definitely think you should, please go and it's in the stream chat. It's in the stream chat right now. So just scroll up a little bit and click on that link. We'll get the chat box to be white again, so that way you guys can actually see it. What's the hex code for white? Oh, I guess we can just do that. Oh, it's the F's. That's right. Okay. Well, with that, I mean, I'm out of activities for the stream, but does anyone want to, like, ask any questions or have some conversations, chat a little bit? Yeah. Does anyone have anything they want to bring up? Oh, sick. Colt's coming to the gym? I didn't realize Colt was still in town. Well, I guess Colt's not far. I don't know what I'm saying. Can you join the stream because you have some very good... Yeah, you know what? Call me right now, Alex. Call me on Discord. Alex is going to share some stuff about Worlds in a second, I think. We'll see. I hit call on Discord, but he hasn't answered, so... No. If not, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about or share or ask or anything? In terms of content, I guess. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's Alex. Can everybody hear Alex?
I was switching computers.
I miss you too, Sasha.
Audio. I'm gonna live with you. I first tuned into the stream during the Taco Bell story.
Nice.
Great story. So I don't know what all you've talked about so far.
I just talked about like my own like mini experiences that I didn't vlog.
I see.
And then I left out the parts that I did vlog. So.
That's fair.
What Billy asked, what ninja show has the best scenery? I mean, do you mean scenery or do you mean like set design?
AMW2.
Venice.
Not even close.
It's fair. I honestly really like Arabia's though. Set design definitely is Arabia. Scenery, nah, I would agree. AMW2.
Actually, do we count Takeshi's Castle in that?
No.
Because they went way too hard on set design, both in the new one and the old one.
Yeah, I was gonna say those look really cool. I'm not counting it, but definitely, yeah, they did a great job with those. And then now they're shouting out Sportsman as well. Nathan asked how he gets his PC to turn on. He's restarted it and it won't turn on. How are you? What? How are you in this chat right now?
Phone.
I guess, but they don't have one. Do you guys have a phone? I'm pretty sure they don't. Oh, maybe he's just using his brother's. Never mind. I don't know, dude. Like, clean out everything. Like, take it apart, dust it, take the memory card, do what you can with it, and like try it again. Like do some surgery on your PC. What else? Oh, on the iPad. Okay. All right, Alex. What kind of stories you got?
Well, right now I'm going through your list, your survey, because I want to see how close our answers matched.
Oh, I feel like our answers started to split on the international show stuff.
That's probably true, yeah. I'm an American Ninja Warrior now. I rated the original ones a little bit better than you did, I think. I think I was more harsh overall than you were.
I see. My thing is like I don't have a problem.
Oh yeah, I should have rated 10 a lot. The regular season of 10 was pretty good.
I didn't mind the first few qualifiers, but everything else after that fell off. I wasn't a fan.
I feel like the Mega Wall was like such a huge positive change.
It was.
That, like, I just can't sit here and remember. I feel like 10 had really good obstacle design, largely because that's when Kevin started designing obstacles full time.
It did have good obstacles. For me, the novelty of the Mega Wall wore off after the second episode.
I think the novelty of the Mega Wall for me didn't wear off until like last season.
Fair. My thing with it was like we had 2 straight episodes where people got it. So I was just kind of like, all right.
Well, but I want to see like one person get it every episode. If anything, not enough people got it in 11.
Oh, definitely not in 11. But like, yeah, with 10, I was like, once I saw it get beaten, I was like, all right, like it's cool and it's definitely tough because people weren't getting it as well. I was also just like, all right, I've seen it and I'm no longer like wowed by it, but I definitely didn't think it was bad. See you, Nathan. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Bye, Billy. Yeah, get some sleep, Billy.
What's up, Nathan? Good to see you. Take care, Billy.
My thing with A&W is that honestly, I don't have a hard time with. I don't have a problem with the fluff pieces. Like I don't think that they're great. I can definitely acknowledge when they throw off the pacing of episodes, but at the same time, I'm not one of those people who's going to just complain anytime anyone has a profile, because they've been like, whether people remember it or not because they were little kids, like they've done that since A&W 4. Like as soon as NBC got their hands on it, it started. And
4 wasn't that bad.
4 wasn't that bad. 5 definitely, yeah. And then 6, oh please, it was over.
Yeah.
But like with that, it's just to me, it's always been part of the show. So it's something that I've grown to like not necessarily enjoy, but I've accepted it, and I don't really have a problem with it. And the other thing that I have about that is that like we're on a Discord server of 700 Ninja fans, and they're all talking about like people's accomplishments on their course, but then they're saying like, I hope they win because of something listed in the fluff piece, something personal about their lives that was shared on the show. Like they're fully just buying into it. That's how they've grown attached to the OGs. It's not so much the time spent with them. It's the fact that you're seeing everything about their stories and their lives.
Isn't that the point?
Exactly. No, it is the point. So what I'm saying is it's stupid that people are complaining about that when they're literally like getting drawn in by it every single season, almost weekly. Like it's dumb. It's dumb. The amount of people I hear still talk about, Flip's story, it's because it's a great story and a lot of people can like be inspired by that.
Yes.
But no, the fluff pieces in A&W are bad. It's terrible and it throws everything off and we're not here to watch a sob story. Like, no. That's a large reason why Flip has such a big fan base. It's because it's a great story. People loved it, and he's good at ninja, so it worked for him. Same with Joe Moravsky, bro. The amount Joe has such a huge fan base because we saw him basically grow for the first 5 seasons. He was engaged, and then he was married, and then he had kids. It was it was a whole everything else, and everyone just fell more and more in love with Joe Moravsky. So it's again, fluff pieces, I don't have a problem with. I think it's stupid that people complain about it.
I mean, I think it depends on the fluff piece too. If somebody that we've never seen comes up, they spend 3 or 4 minutes talking about, my kid has epilepsy, and then we go on to see them fail the third obstacle, never to be seen again. It's why did you just spend this much of my time? It makes sense to show fluff pieces of competitors that you want us to get behind for the whole season.
Right.
It makes no sense to show us fluff pieces for people that we're never going to see again, because then you just wasted our time.
I am kind of going to counter that with, if we had fluff pieces specifically for only people who did good, then it would make the show super predictable. It's to the point where oh, they got a fluff piece, they're gonna qualify for the next round, or they're gonna hit the buzzer. It's one of those things where it's I understand why they have to do it for people who maybe fail and don't qualify and stuff, but at the same time, I completely get that criticism as well. I just think that if that were the case, yeah, it would people would be well, here goes, oh, we're getting the profile. Let's just see where he falls on the leaderboard because we know he's going to get there. And that's the unfortunate part.
Is that the worst thing in the world?
I would say
you could make the same argument of oh, well, we know the people that are going to run towards the end of the episode are way more likely to clear, and if we see someone at the beginning of the episode, they're almost certainly not going to make it.
It's one of those things where I'm going to say it would kind of be the worst thing in the world, because I think the nice thing about Ninja is that nothing's ever truly guaranteed. I understand that the episodes have a formula, and they save their big name athletes for the end, and they maybe throw some in the middle or the beginning or whatever. But at the same time, you really never know when you step up on the course, am I going to clear? Am I going to, it's not scripted entirely. I had to choose my words carefully there. But yeah, my thing about that is if that were the case and we had 10 plus seasons of profiles indicating when someone was going to do well or not, it removes any unpredictability, and I don't think I would be watching. I think I would have tuned out because I would have been well, okay, done. Oh, credits, cool. See you next week, and then that's it.
I mean, I have felt that way about AEW for years. I'm in love with you.
Yeah, a lot of people have.
That's even without the predictability comment that you mentioned.
That's fair. This is the first season where I'm really starting to feel that. They really did not do a good job balancing hour-long episodes. But yeah, even the seasons that I don't like, I can see a lot of redeeming qualities in them, and I don't think there's really a season of Ninja that I hate. Just some that I like more than others. So I don't know. Just kind of.
To go to Amber's point, when obviously a lot of these fluff pieces that that people don't like are played up for television. I remember somebody, I think it was Brian Arnold, was I quit my job to train Ninja Warrior full time. That's a lie. You didn't. You quit because you didn't like your job and or you wanted to do something else outside of we know you're lying. So obviously they manufacture a lot of stuff for the show, but when the drama writes itself, when something real and organic happens, it feels like they almost don't sell it hard enough.
Oh, they definitely don't.
Like, I'm going back to Amber's point about, like, knowing Phil personally. Like, there's only so much you can do in 7 minutes, and 5.5 of it is, somebody running an obstacle course. But, like, seeing Philip mature for years and years and then have this big, giant moment, like, it didn't translate as well to TV as it could have. And again, some of that is time constraints, and some of that is,
Bad decision making.
yeah, like poor editing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
Like,
to respond to respond to Melons about how I've been pissed in recent reviews. That's because the international shows recently have been brain dead. We're just talking about A&W right now, and I would say most of my reviews on A&W for last year were generally positive. They were more constructive criticism than it was like me being upset. Except for Vegas, I did not like Vegas. But anyway, sorry. Continue, Alex.
14's Vegas is okay. Stage 3 was just too easy, but
Oh, that's the other thing. I got to do a soapbox episode on difficulty scaling. That'll be a big one.
yeah, you're gonna ruffle some feathers with that one, but it's important, Like I think we're kind of in agreement. Like, a lot of the international shows, especially in their first few seasons, are way too hard for athletes who don't train.
Right, especially
like,
because this is their introduction to Ninja and everything. So it's
right.
Okay, Amber, that is an amazing point. That's what I've said for years, just differently. I always tell people, like, every single Ninja competitor that you love has been a rookie at some point. I agree that casting's not really letting them flesh out, but at the same time, the idea of, like, okay, people hated on the teen competitors for, like, all of season 13 because they were like, I don't want these new rookies coming in. Like, why do I have to waste my time? Like, dude, I'm sorry. They did the same thing in, like, the last 5 A&W seasons. Like,
that made zero sense.
It made zero sense. And then, all of a sudden the teens do good. Caden, Vance, like, they have massive followings. The year after that, Jay and Josiah have pretty big followings because, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Like, it's a dumb argument because, like, what? If A&W 2 came out, people would be complaining that there's not enough Levi and Brian because of this boot camp thing. I guarantee you that's how it would have turned out with the internet, like, in its current state. Same thing for A&W 3. We got attached to the people from A&W 2. Now we have to deal with all these new people at boot camp. Like, bro, shut up. That's how it feels. And then the transition from 3 to 4, because they brought in more people and more regions, that would have pissed people off. It would have.
Well, I mean, SMF existed at the time. I'm trying to recall how people reacted to all of that.
That's fair.
Like, the pacing in the first 4 seasons was too fast. Like, bear in mind, we got like 4 episodes a week. So it was like, the first 3 seasons, like, basically all of boot camp aired in one night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just...
Teoma, this is Alex.
Hello. If you're on the Ninja Masters, I am WNL underling AC Money. I'm kind of the 1B of the server. Season 4 was the best the pacing has ever been. Like, you had qualifiers one night. So you had, like, run after run after run. You had occasional fluff pieces when they needed you to get invested in somebody. Which, like, to answer your unpredictability point, like, you can just show people and just be like, alright, here's newcomer Caden Lebsack. Let's see how he does. And then he clears. It's like, oh wow, he did so good. And then in the finals, we see his fluff piece, something like that. Like you can make it so that it's less predictable. You can still do fluff pieces when somebody has like a really good story. You don't need to do fluff pieces for people that don't have good stories and then never show them to me again. Like Jonah Bonner. Like, I don't give a shit that you're a gondolier. You know? Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, I don't care.
Like, I don't give a shit that you're a gondolier. You really don't need to, like, shut it. The one that pissed me off the most was season 12. It was episode 1. I forget if it was Megan Budway or the male music teacher. But they had this little skit where Matt and Akbar and Zuri all had, like, little, like, child toy instruments and they all played them and it was funny. It's like, okay, this was a nice little 30-second segment to say, okay, this person's a music teacher, you know? We're, you know, showing charisma. Okay, that's fine. They did not then need to go to a 2-minute fluff piece about how you're a music teacher.
Yeah,
you know?
Agreed. Especially with,
in the qualifiers,
what's his name?
I want to see runs and I want to see more runs. You have,
Yep.
Not this season because NBC is out of money, 2 hours to show 30 competitors in the finals. You have plenty of time to get me emotionally invested in people then. You know? Like in the qualifiers, it's a relatively short course.
Yep.
You know? I want to see people run it, and I want to see people run it quickly.
Yep.
I want to see people try to put up top times.
And
then we can get to the grind fest, and I can get emotionally invested in people in the finals.
Right.
I stopped watching qualifiers for A&W in like season 8 because they just pissed me off so much.
Nice. 15 has been... This has been the first qualifiers that I've, like, actively, like, hated. Like, the rest I would, like, even, like, 9s, like, I didn't care for 9s, but I didn't hate it. It was enough for me to be like, yeah, I can still watch it. Okay, I just want to clarify for everyone on stream. We know what happens in A&W 15 and 16. We know all the results. We know who makes Vegas. We know, the last ninja standing, we know the clear rates, blah blah blah.
Yes.
Stage 2, as I've said in the past on the channel, is going to be racing. We know the matchups. Like we know that stuff. So I don't know if you heard about this, Alex. The one that really pissed me off, and this is when I was like, all right, I'm over this. They fast forwarded Jarrah Boyd.
Yes,
and
I did see that.
That was when he got the mega wall, and instead they showed a fluff piece of like a mom who failed the second obstacle.
Right.
And her whole thing was like being a mom, or was it like a disease or something? I don't remember entirely. Like that was really poor, because especially like if you think about like if you did a fluff piece on Jarrah, keep it just as long as the mom. She was up there for like however long. Honestly, she was up there on the course for maybe a minute. Jarrah got to the buzzer in under 120 and then got the mega wall. So like you could have done something with that instead. It's just yeah. So it just this season's really starting to piss me off because it just doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. It's reminding me of I know exactly what it's reminding me of.
As a more cohesive format and it's better, you know something is wrong with your show.
Are you ready for the comparison? Because I think it's a perfect comparison.
For the record, I was referring to the upcoming season.
I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say France 7 is a mess, but France 8 makes sense. Yeah.
France 7 was just
awful.
We don't talk about France 7.
Yeah.
But go on. Perfect comparison.
Perfect comparison. This is Australian Ninja Warrior 6, just in America. It is poor pacing, bland obstacles, Funny enough, the only balance obstacle any of them really use is Domino Effect. And the cutoff for a lot of these qualifiers has been obstacle 2 or 3. So.
Australian Ninja Warrior 6 was bad for a couple other reasons, though. Like, number one, it was the worst hosting job I think I've ever seen in the history of English language television.
It's quite frankly, like, for worst ninja host, it's either those guys or it's Blair Herter. And, yeah. It's
Blair
bad.
Herter was not nearly as bad. Blair Herter is not in the same galaxy as Tempest Guy. I don't even remember his name.
Jim
it's not worth putting
whatever.
Room in my brain for me to remember his name.
That's fair. But, like, they were so... Yeah, that was bad. The qualifiers were tough, but the reason it was so fine, the reason why I was able to get through it with, like, ease was because they did 4 qualifiers or something like that, 4 or 5, and they did it in the span of 7 days. So it was like you rip the Band-Aid off. I wasn't bored. It wasn't boring. That's the thing. Like, this is boring. Australia at least wasn't boring in the qualifiers, but it still wasn't good. And then the semifinals pissed me off more than... Like, at least, honestly, at least A&W's semifinals and their races and everything, at least that's going to make sense. Australia's pissed me off.
Yeah, Australia's, they just put people together for drama. A&W's, they're at least trying to pretend like they didn't put people together for drama.
Yeah. Amber says that many newcomers with good potential might get blocked in semis races, competing against way better athletes or vice versa. Quite frankly, Amber, I get your point, but I do think that that's okay in a way. I'm 15 seasons into the show. I don't really want to see more newcomers unless they're people that, quite frankly, I recognize from leagues. That's just, like, my personal preference. If I know that they have a shot at Vegas, I would rather see them than, like, seeing a new person, given that at most we're going to get to season 17.
There is no human being on this planet. Okay, that's not true. There would definitely be human beings. There are no A&W competitors that are draws. Jessie Graff is the closest competitor that is a draw, and she has largely outlived her drawing ability.
Yep.
Casey was a draw, and
she left.
Now she's gone. Jessie was kind of a draw, but like the one run of her in, what was it, Daytona, Miami, something, that was 5 years ago. That was 6 years ago. Like,
I would
she
draw.
Draw
Teoma, by draw, we mean they bring in audiences. I'm not going to rank the episodes right now. I'm doing a qualifiers review. When all of the qualifiers are done, you'll see stuff about it then. But yeah, by draw, we mean people who will bring in audiences. Man, it's tough.
Like, you could argue maybe Drew.
Even then.
But, I mean, he went to jail.
Yep.
So...
And even then, like, even when he was at his most popular, it's not like he was, like, a celebrity. He was just...
Right.
He was just a smaller personality from TV that was bigger in his specific sport. So...
I mean, if you got, like, a Mr. Beast or a Logan Paul,
yeah,
or Charli D'Amelio, like, yeah, people would tune in to watch that, and that's largely why Sasuke is so popular right now,
right?
Because they're able to get, like, guys from Johnny's Jr. and
it's crazy. No, they had people in the beginning and they had people at the end. Like, it was nuts. So, okay, Teoma, don't even. They're not bringing in celebrities this year. They're not. No. They have not brought in a single celebrity. The closest thing to a celebrity that A&W can bring in right now, quite frankly, is Bob Reese. And that's it. So, there are no celebrities that are actually there.
Right. Actually, of all of the... I'm going to leave this as a question for the chat, because you might know this. Of all of the competitors that made Vegas in ANW 11. Who has the second most Instagram followers?
Oh, I know this one, but are we including Drew in this one?
It wasn't Drew.
It was Daniel, right?
Daniel? Gill?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Trying to think, because number one was.
Number one is Jesse.
Yeah, yeah. I'm stumped. Is it Moravsky?
Danelle Leyva.
Oh, hello. Yeah, because he's an Olympian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesse had half a mil. Danelle Leyva had like a quarter of a mil.
Right.
And then it just falls off of a crater.
Yeah, Drew had like 100 something, and then like.
Well, I mean, a large part of that was built up after he won.
Yeah. Teoma Danelle Leyva was an Olympic gymnast who made it to Vegas. You've probably seen the clip of him saving himself from the diving boards when he grabbed it and he like barely touched the water. If not, you were probably too young to watch the season. I don't know. I know you're on the younger side of viewers.
I think like Charity LeBlanc has like a bunch of followers.
That would make sense. There's like a whole side of social media that really simps over like mermaid people. I know Grant McCartney has like a decent following right now. It's not like amazing, but that's because he's expanded more beyond Ninja recently, and he's been doing more CrossFit and OCR stuff. So
he's at 140.
That's
I mean like
it's
a lot
respectable.
Of, like, kids that are posting Instagram tricks are getting followers now.
Right.
Like
Evan White has a pretty decent following for what, publicity he's had.
Jay Lewis is at 40.
Right.
How many does Josiah have? Only 11. Interesting. Why not? Okay. Like I'm pretty sure.
That's right.
Like,
Sam Folsom has a big
TikTok?
following on Instagram. Sam has like
Yeah.
250,000, and then he's got like another 100,000 or something like that on YouTube as well, purely off of Reels.
Like the explosion of short form video content, like with TikTok and YouTube Shorts, like it's confusing and makes no sense to me. Like World Ninja League started a TikTok 2 weeks ago, and we had a TikTok over the weekend that got over 1 million views. Like,
Yeah.
it just.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then
It makes no sense to me. And
Oh,
so, like,
you
the
know
kids that
who's-
are doing like Instagram tricks.
you know who's
Bob
got
Reese to an
a
extent,
good
Sam-
follower. Bob Reese has a big following. I'm gonna say check Anton's real quick because Anton definitely has a following, like a strong following.
Oh yeah. He's also big on YouTube too. He's at 76.
Oh, okay, interesting. I know he's at like I think he's at 1 million on YouTube, something like that.
150K.
Oh, really? Oh, you know who's in the millions? Stinking Magnus.
Midbow, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, rock climbing is in general bigger than ninjas.
Oh yeah. Lucas Gomez, Teoma says. What a throwback. I did enjoy his videos when he was uploading regularly. Okay, you know what? That's a great question. Alex, out of all of the competitors who have uploaded regular YouTube videos at some point in their lives, who is your favorite in terms of content?
Competitors?
Yeah, competitors.
I don't really know who's uploaded stuff. Because, like, I really don't follow Ninja YouTube.
That's fair.
Like, the only, like, Ninja YouTubers I can name are, like, you, Will, Sasuke Nerds, Eric Wallum. We never got to see Eric Wallum in AEW. That's a tragedy.
Never did. I'm gonna go with Teoma's pick. I really like Jera Boyd's YouTube stuff. But that's just because they're not strictly ninja. They're just like random vlogs, and they're very fun. Um, but then he does do some ninja stuff as well. I think Lucas would probably take a close second. I did like Lucas's videos a lot. Um, who else? Who else? If I had to pick a top three, I'd probably throw Anton at third. Um, Ethan Swanson actually did like a good, but he didn't do like a bunch of. He didn't do a bunch of ninja stuff necessarily. He was doing a lot of gaming stuff, but it was actually really fun. Him and Flip, they're both like really good with that stuff. Teoma brought up Vance Walker. I didn't even know that he uploaded stuff on YouTube.
He did Ninja Kids. He did like.
Oh, that's right. Kind of the old. Okay, no, I just looked it up. Okay, no, I actually kind of enjoyed those. I forgot about those. Those were pretty good.
Evan Dollard.
Good pick.
That's gonna be my guess.
Good pick.
Those Ninja Quickies were a lot of fun.
Trying to think of what else. I think the funniest thing is
we should rank that Ninja Quickie for WNO.
We could. I think the big one was wait, where I race people? Because I was about to say.
Yeah, like we send you to the barn to race Tyler Smith.
I think that'd be hilarious. But I was gonna say one of my things was I raced Donovan Matoyer in the bouncy house.
Right.
So that can be the first one.
Philip and I were like literally on our way to the bouncy house to race as they were
closing,
deflating it.
That sucks.
So mad. Yeah.
I really like Xavier's stuff actually. I think they're very fun. I'm not gonna really mention Enzo or Elijah. I'm gonna throw them in there just because they make similar content. They're not bad. They're just not my style. It really just feels like. How do I put it? Enzo and Elijah have original ideas, but they edit them in the most formulaic Mr. Beast copy way. And it's not.
Well, so does every YouTuber.
Yeah, I know, but like when I watch a Jera Boyd upload, it's got Jera written all over it. Same for when I watch an Anton video, which is kind of crazy because Anton's more like modern and stuff as well. But like, it's like Enzo and Elijah have good ideas for videos, but then they mix it with Mr. Beast and with Nick Simmons. And to me, it's like, it's not my favorite. I just think it feels overdone for a YouTube video about ninja. Definitely not bad, but yeah, just not my style. I'll watch them occasionally, like when I'm in the mood for something with like high energy, but if I'm not, like I'm just like I'll skip it. It's fine. But I don't know, it's all right. But yeah, for that reason, I can't put Enzo or Elijah in the top 5 for ninja YouTubers, like, at all. I think that's all of the big ones I could really think of. Like, if you listen to, because Teoma's still going on about it, or I'm seeing it in the chat. Like, if you listen to the NSC podcast, like, it's Enzo and Elijah, and they're talking, and they're excited, and they're high energy, but they sound like teenagers. They sound like friends who are talking about comps, and it sounds more natural than, like, literally the same inflection as Mr. Beast as Enzo is introducing an obstacle challenge video. You know, it's, yeah. Man, Teoma may not check out all of the international ninja shows all the time, but he sure knows his way around the ninja YouTube. I again forgot. I saw maybe like 2 videos by Jeff Britton in my life.
Honestly, Drew had a couple good ones.
Drew did have some good ones, and then Drew went to prison. So I liked his. Oh, you know what? Totally forgetting because he deleted a bunch of his stuff or unlisted them. Perry had really good vlogs of him going to.
Oh, he unlisted those. Those were so good.
Yeah, he took out a lot of them. Like, okay, so Teoma, Perry Oosterly, been to like 7 different ninja shows, and he vlogged behind the scenes of like every single one. He would do a vlog in Vietnam or 2 when he was on Sasuke Vietnam, and then he did one in Russia.
Or something.
Maybe, or he just unlisted it after he retired or something. Like, I don't know. I haven't asked him about it, but I could. But his vlogs were so fun because it was different people all the time in different areas, different parts of the world, but it was for ninja. And it was, oh man, Perry's my number 1 pick for that. Never mind. Perry's my number 1 pick. Sorry, Jera.
I'll take Perry,
yeah.
I get him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I loved his videos. Let me see what's still there and what's not. I know that he saved some, but it's stuff about the last one's about Ninja Warrior Netherlands. So he unlisted a lot of them. Yeah, they're gone. That sucks. It's a bummer. I don't know. I hope that they're not like deleted. But Joe's is alright. David's is alright. I didn't really care for like David's. Mainly just because it's just always missing that one little extra thing on the editing side that really makes me like get hyped. But David still has like good ideas, like when he brings in like coworkers or random strangers or something like that to train in his backyard. Not random strangers, but like first timers. It's cool. It's cool. And then there's the fan YouTubers, and I'm like, I've always wanted to kind of like rank it, but then I'm like, I don't know, man. They're all my friends, so like it'd be weird. Like if I were to rank my channel with the Sasuke Nerds and Billy Vids and 222 Productions and Universal Tuber, like and whoever else that's done like fan ninja stuff, it would be really weird because I know most if not all of them personally, and it's just really strange.
Yeah.
I'm number 1. I'm putting myself number 1. I'm kidding. I've actually talked to Billy about it before, and I was like, I don't put myself number 1. I think I have like original ideas that are actually unique and stuff that aren't just, a lot of people just do like reviews of stuff, and like that's fine. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, but like I don't know, I had a hot streak where I was making different series and challenges and ideas, and I still do them, just not as much as I used to, but thank you, Teoma. But no, I think like I can't give myself number 1 based off of impact. I can't give myself number 1 based off of editing. I think I can only give myself number 1 in the category of like original ideas. Know what I'm saying?
Right. I think ninja as a sport like isn't there yet to like have its big I'm gonna borrow a phrase, big impact moment. That was the phrase of the day on Thursday when Greg and I were talking about the opening ceremony. There's like 4 Gregs. It's weird, but Greg Schwartz, Tuck Sky, for those watching.
Right.
Like we aren't there yet for people to take like the auxiliary content seriously enough. Like people who watch the show are kind of out of the demographic of like people that would also, watch ninja vlogs and ninja YouTubers. Like, do you know who Jesser is?
No.
Okay, he's a big basketball YouTuber. Um, he does like basketball challenges and he goes to like NBA games and stuff. We are not big enough to have a Jesser or like anywhere in the ballpark of a Jesser. Like
Okay.
we we could get there. Like,
Yeah.
I think people like you, Jera, Enzo are like laying good groundwork so that when we get there, we'll have
A
that
foundation.
potential,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's
Oh
years
God, I
away.
forgot about Ninja Kids TV.
Ninja
I'm
Kids
sorry,
TV.
Do
Not
I
my
recall-
favorite. Not my favorite, but by far the most popular. Oh my gosh. They used to be about ninja. Now they're just doing like whatever challenges are trending and they rack up 3 million views in like 12 hours just off of that.
Yeah, it's just the way of the social internet.
Yep.
It like
But you know what? Props
one
to
thing
those
gets
kids.
really
They're making
popular,
money.
And everybody gets attached to it for like 2 months.
Yep.
And then it goes away.
They're making money. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, probably.
Definitely. They've been doing it for a couple years now and they've been getting so many views. Like
Yeah, like the family YouTubers, it's just kind of cringy because, like, yes, it's popular, but it's just like these are young kids, and you're just putting their entire lives in front of a camera and then putting it in front of millions of people like that. That's just not right, man.
Yeah.
Let kids have a childhood.
Yeah. I actually respected. Do you know about the Ace family, Austin McBroom or anything like that?
No.
No. Basically, there was this family, and it started off as just the couple. They eventually got married and stuff. And then they had one kid, and now they have 3 kids, and so the oldest is like 5 or 6 or something like that. And there were some times where I was like, yeah, this is cringe because it's like it doesn't feel like they're exploiting their kids, but their kids are there a lot, so you can't help but think that naturally.
There's definitely a line between
Yeah.
your kids are on camera and you're exploiting your kids.
Yeah, and then basically like I think they were a little more receptive to it, like to the point where they started excluding kids from the videos. I think mainly to just play nice and like make sure that people don't get pissed off. See a radium.
Right.
But no, they actually played it pretty well, and now they're actually taking a step back. I think they've uploaded maybe 3 times this year, just for like the big moments, which I think is very nice and not like. Yeah, I think it's smart because now like the oldest kids in like 1st grade or something like that. The second kid's probably going into preschool or kindergarten, and the other one's like 2 or 3. So it's like now they're getting those core childhood years off camera,
Right.
which I think is smart.
I agree completely. Like I was irritated when like my mom would turn on the camera for me to open up Christmas presents. Like, why? You're never gonna watch this. Like, why do I have to sit here in front of a camera and be all awkward? And I would be horrified if millions of people watched that.
Yeah.
Not now. I
Yeah,
would be
no, I get what you
horrified
mean.
then. I would also be horrified now because of how cringy it'd be. But like,
Yeah.
I'd like some kind of privacy.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like basically my channel, it's like I'm just happy to do the content, I'm not getting paid for it. Although YouTube recently changed their monetization to 500 subscribers, so now I'm even closer than before. Let's I'm at I think 407 right now. Let's get to 500 by the end of the year. I wanted 500 by the end of summer, but now that the goal's not 1,000 anymore, I'm like, yeah, let's get to 500 by the end of the year. I don't care. I'll do like a Sasuke video or 2 and it'll get me like 10 subscribers right away. Watch time, Teoma, I'm pretty solid on. Like, I'm just under the watch time requirement, but it's one of those things where it's like when we hit peak time, it's gonna the watch time I'm not worried about. Even this coming summer with like the A&W reviews rolling out soon, like I think that'll definitely help as well. So it's like it is what it is.
Like I know that like when you upload that WNL vlog, like I'm not gonna say it's gonna go nuclear or anything, but like a bunch of people will want to watch that.
I hope so, and I hope that it's properly promoted. Like I'm gonna do everything I can to promote it. Um, I'm not gonna lie. Who's running the Instagram right now?
I thought it was Melina, but I think so. I think Melina's the one who hits post, and I think like Philip makes a lot of the graphics, and Abby like coordinates a lot
Right.
of it.
I
So
know
probably
Philip
Abby's
makes the
your bet.
graphics. I was gonna say whoever's in charge of the account right now has blueballed me so many times.
I would say go to Abby.
Okay, because it's like I'd be like, "Hey, I'm here at Worlds." Like I posted stuff like that on my story and they didn't repost it, or I'd post an article on the news page and they didn't repost it. And I'm like, "Look, I'm getting paid for the article regardless, so like whatever." But at the same time, that's like really stupid that you're not promoting it. Like I don't know. It's a good thing.
That's an Abby question.
It's a good thing that we had that team who is running the TikTok and ran the Trick Station and everything, because like they did an amazing job, and that made the Instagram really pop off as well.
Yeah, like the professional cameraman that came,
Yeah,
professional video guy. That
he
was
was
such a smart
great.
call.
He was great. Um, so like yeah, it was like no problem with that or whatever. But like when I dropped the vlog, I'm like, if you want a behind the scenes look, if you want to look at like the thing I'm going for, it's going to be funny, but it's going to be a lot about the competition. It's going to be about the experience. It's going to be about making friends, meeting people. Like I want to hit like as many different sides of this as possible. I'm not expecting it to be like, wow, you got 10,000 views on this. No, no, like, dude, not even people with 10,000 subscribers for Ninja are getting 10,000 views. So like, why should I expect that? But like, I don't know, man. I haven't had a video get over 300 views in quite a bit. I'd like to at least get it past that. And I think realistically, if they actually shared it, people would watch it. So,
That's an Abby question.
yeah. I'll have to talk to her about it.
I really miss the reviews Will did. Like his season 4 review was like one of my favorite hour and a half of Ninja content like ever. I mean, also season 4 was the drizzling shits, but like
Right.
the fact that he just like so elegantly skewered it while also like putting a lot of the experience stuff in a positive light
Right.
was just like chef's kiss.
I have not watched a lot of his earlier stuff. I think I only really, I mean, I joined your old server at like in like 2018 or something like that. So I only really saw like his A&W 9 and beyond because I watched back some of his A&W 9 stuff and then I joined in from 10 and beyond. And like I liked a lot of what he was saying. I just didn't like that he didn't edit a lot of them. You know, like there were a lot of pauses and
Yeah, Will could have edited it a lot better for sure.
yeah, like it was just it made the longer reviews tougher to watch, but at the same time content wise I was like this guy gets it. So it was easy to stick around in that regard.
Right.
Teoma, I've thought about posting the interviews to my channel. Alex DM'd me like literally yesterday. We're going to put it on the WNL channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little title card over everybody and plug my Instagram because it's the same handle as my YouTube and I'm smart. I'm going to plug everyone's Instagram who's involved in that stuff just
right.
So it's easier, but
we need to talk to Philip about thumbnails because I know he gets pissed.
okay.
But that should be too much of an issue. By the way, speaking of WNL content, can I make an announcement?
Sure.
I am going to be doing a community cut style edit of the 2023 World Championship
Oh
coming this fall.
my gosh.
It's gonna be awesome. Kane, I might have you do some auxiliary commentary for it because,
Yeah.
like, I feel like a lot of our commentary was like talking about the last run or things that were going on the floor, and then just kind of bleeded into the other runs, which makes sense for a live event.
Right, but not for something that you're trying to edit.
Right.
Yeah.
If we had like 10-minute stop downs between runs like A&W has, then that's not an issue. But like, we don't have replays, we don't have time for replays, so it's just
Right.
like, and Tyler Smith clears. Now here's Jackson Erdos.
Yeah. Hey, dude, just let me know. Sign me up. I'm in. Just
For sure.
October, I'll be busy. But if it's gonna be
Right.
out by October, yeah, just let me know.
I mean, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a lot of these things too. It's to the point where, like, honestly, I don't think they're gonna watch this far into the stream. If they do, Billy, I'm sorry. John, I'm sorry. I don't want to do any more community cuts, like making anymore. We all talked. So we're doing the Teoma, you gotta chill, bro. We're gonna post clips of stuff. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But anyways, like I don't know how many people in the stream know about this, but like we're doing a community cut where we have the subtitles that G4 was gonna use for Sasuke 36. So we're editing Sasuke 36 in the style of G4. There's 6 episodes and we've just wrapped up the 3rd one. And then my other friends are doing a community cut of Sasuke 40, which is just gonna be Sasuke 40 but edited better than Inui did. So there's that stuff, and we all kind of talked and we're like, man, we're not doing the G4 thing again, like ever. Like, we're done. And then I don't know about the community cut guys or not, but I feel like they might be tired. Normally, like the last one for Sasuke 39 came out in July, and they're nowhere near done with it right now. Like I think they're still working on the stage 1 stuff. So it's like, I'm going to honestly be surprised if both of them come out this year. One of them will. I don't know which one it's going to be.
Call me. I mean, like, Ninja is literally my job now, and it's kind of a down season right now. So, like,
all right.
I have time, have the focus. Like, give me the ball, coach.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I want to see this done, and if I have to put in some legwork to make it done,
I'll talk to the guys in the chat for sure, because I know that right now Billy and John are like the primary editors for everything, and so they've been kind of having to juggle both, and that's why it's taking so long. So I think you jumping in for probably G4, because they're going to be territorial about the 41, but G4 I think would definitely work. Do we know who Ninja Empire and Extreme A&W is? I'm 99% sure Extreme A&W is a scammer that posts like fake links to things, and yeah, pretty sure
I've never heard of either of these accounts.
Extreme A&W is a scammer. Not only that, but they post stuff on their community tab about like revivals of shows. Like they tried to post about the revival of Titan Games, and they used a picture from season 1, which is, it was done. It doesn't matter if he has 1 million subs. Bots can be fallen for all the time. The only insightful anything that channel is shown is the leaked picture of the starting line of stage 1 for season 16. And that's it. Ninja Empire, I do know, and I've spoken to, but there's one video that he put out that I was like, oh boy. The ranking the top 50 A&W competitors.
Yeah.
That one I was like, I have never seen anyone go 0 for 50, but he did. I like the compilation stuff that Ninja Empire does, but yeah, that was a hard video to watch.
Yeah, looking over, like, at least Ninja Empire, like, edits his, like obviously I have zero sympathy for a multi-billion-dollar corporation for holding our sport hostage for 15 years, but like, at least Ninja Empire, like, edits stuff.
Yeah.
Extreme A&W like literally just lifts
Yeah.
directly.
They just clip something from an episode and then they get views from it, and it's kind of lame. Ninja Empire definitely puts in a lot of work into their videos, but at the same time I'm also like, I don't know. Okay, how do I put this? I don't really care for compilation stuff just because I've seen everything already, so I don't feel the need to like rewatch it all the time. If I want to rewatch it, I'll rewatch the whole episode. With that said, it's really nice to have the compilations out there, and it's nice that someone's actually editing it. I just disagree with every single placement on his A&W top 50 list, like by far. I think he had Brian Orozco like top 25 or something like that, and I was just like, dude, like that one was wild. But it's also like tough to it's also tough to properly how do I describe it?
Brian Orozco is on the list of top 50 all time ever. Yes. Yes.
He's really low on that list if he makes it at all. He's really low. You can't put him higher than 40.
I guess I am counting Sasuke 25 in that.
Huh.
I mean, I guess it's this kind of a similar question to where would you put Akira Mori on a list of all-time Sasuke competitors?
Yeah, and for me, he's not on the list. Regardless of his stats, he's not on the list. He had some people who retired 10 years ago at the top. Yeah. I think he had like Paul Casimir in like the top 10 or 15. Paul Casimir was a great ninja, but given the feats of other ninjas, I cannot in good conscience put him that high.
I mean,
who is my number one?
Speaking like stats wise, it should be Kaden, but like
stats wise, yeah.
But I mean, he's only been on the show for 2 seasons. I guess if you have a number one based on what's already aired, and not putting Drew on the list because he's a,
well, he put Drew
in federal prison. I guess it's Daniel Gill.
Yeah, but he did put Drew at number one, so that was something.
That's a decision.
Yep. I want to say his top 4. The top 4, I think, were, I don't remember the order, but Drew was 1. I think Kaden was 4th, and then 2 and 3 were Daniel and Joe.
That's fair, honestly.
Who is my number one? Teoma, you're gonna get a sneak peek of what Soapbox episode 3 is gonna be about. There is no GOAT. There is no number one. There is no top ninja, singular. There has not been one for the last, I would argue, 4 or 5 years of the sport. If you want to make a point system or a stat system based off of their results on the show, you have to keep a couple of things in mind. People in more seasons are automatically going to get more points, and also the show's rigged. Like, Joe Moravsky's going to get more points than Kaden Lebsack because he's been in way more seasons, and he's done well in those seasons, but he's never achieved the all-time high that Kaden has achieved. So it's like, how can you really say that it's a even comparison, even if you're using a point system? It's tough. It's tough to decide because a lot of, basically my stance on it is there has not been a GOAT since, I would say, 2019. 2019 onward, there was not a GOAT. I think for a while it was Drew, but it was only a very, very short period of time, and then everyone else caught up. Kaden GOAT is undisputed, though. Okay. I'm not going to respond to that one.
I'm not going to respond.
I get what you're. I get it because he's done well in junior.
I'm not going to respond to that. He says while responding to it.
I get it. Yeah. whatever. But no, like I get it because Caden made the final twice. He got second in A&W Junior. He just won NSC. Like I can understand where you're
But
coming
NSC
from with
doesn't
that.
count for that.
Yeah, but he just said he wins everything on and off the show. So
I see.
yeah,
He failed a
stage
Skybook
2.
in
Yep,
2021 Worlds and then has no showed the last 2 years.
yep.
To me, that's not winning everything on and off the show.
There is no one who wins everything on and off the show, and that's just the simple fact behind it. So yeah, I will never ever say that there's a GOAT of A&W. I will never say that there's a GOAT of Ninja. There's S tier, S plus tier, whatever you want to call it, the top tier of competitors, and there's about 50 to 100 ninjas I would throw in there worldwide. So Tom Alberti based. Freaking based. Oh my gosh. Because really, it just comes down to how are you doing on that day? Or maybe even for some of these competitors, how much were you training prior to this event? Because there are some people, who are like,
How did you respond to this obstacle you've never touched? Doesn't
Right?
fit your skill set. Like,
right?
Ninja is a sport where literally you cannot fail a single obstacle. And so if one obstacle doesn't play like you... We had a bunch of really good people fail the freaking log split
Yep.
at Worlds.
Yep.
Because they didn't, like... You don't know how that's going to feel until you get up there.
Yep.
We train balance rollers all the damn time at the gym. We have a joke where nobody at the gym is allowed to fail balance, and 2 of our 4 elite guys failed the balance.
Yep.
One of them didn't even get there.
Yep. And because they're pushing it, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers a little bit. Whatever GOAT debate is existing right now is going to be heavily altered in the next few months. That's all it's heavily.
5 years from now, any kind of GOAT debate that we have is going to be completely irrelevant.
It will be. It will be. But
it's not like basketball where, like, we're not getting another Michael Jordan in the next 5 years.
No.
Like,
no, we're not.
We're going to overhype Victor Wembanyama because, the media needs somebody to overhype.
Wemby.
And, like, we're 20 years from now, we're almost certainly still going to be having the Michael Jordan or LeBron James debate, which is stupid. And I'm sorry, Kane. I know you're... Oh, my God. Kane, I know you're a Lakers fan, but it's obviously Jordan.
No, I hate LeBron. I love the Lakers. I hate LeBron. I'm absolutely fine throwing LeBron top 3 all time. I cannot give him number 1 over Jordan. I cannot give him number 1 over Jordan. And I never will.
I agree.
And there's part of me, honestly, there is, and this is going to be the Lakers fan in me talking. There's a huge part of me that wants Kobe above LeBron in these conversations, but at the same time,
Kobe or LeBron, I think, is a much better debate.
I think it's a much closer debate than Jordan or LeBron. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Kobe was my guy. The only 2 athletes where I was ever like, man, like they do something to me every time they're doing something. It was Kobe Bryant and Makoto Nagano. And that was it. So. But then again,
I feel like I never got as hard on the Makoto Nagano train as a lot of the OGs did. Like, you...
Who was your guy? Who was your guy, if anyone?
I don't have one.
Really?
I don't have it. I don't feel like I need one.
Okay.
Like, Ninja is, in the sense of, like, World Ninja League, it's kind of a sport where somebody's gonna win and you want this particular someone. Like, if I'm watching football and the Pittsburgh Steelers are on,
right,
I'm, first of all, stopping everything I'm doing to watch the Steelers game. And I don't care how they do it. I want the Steelers to win, and I want nothing else with my life. Like, I have joked with people that for 4 months out of the year, my happiness and self-esteem is based solely on the outcome of Pittsburgh Steelers games. Ninja, like, there are, you know, there's some people I'm happier for than others. Like, obviously, anytime Philip does really good,
Right.
anytime Michelle Warnke does really good because she was really integral to, getting me into Ninja. Like, when I started working at the league, when Chris did really good, like, when my personal friends do good, that's one thing. I don't go on to Sasuke and I'm like, oh man, I hope Yoshinori Issa really does good this time.
It's
It's not like, well, I mean, also because Sasuke is not a sport and ANW is definitely not a sport, but like, you and I talked about this on commentary. I would have been happy for any of those three guys if they won, you know?
Yeah, same.
I've never said a damn word to Tyler Smith, and I'm happy for him, you know? Like,
yeah.
Jay Lewis and Jackson, like Jay Lewis getting cleared and then getting second less than a week.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, I think...
Kane, I don't think you've been around the community enough if you don't, if you don't know who Amber was referring to.
I think I know who you're talking about. I'm just not gonna...
Okay.
I'll DM you the name.
You don't bother. We're thinking of the same thing.
Yeah. Choo-choo.
But... Teoma, first of all, thank you for the kind words, but, like... Yeah, like... Part of my job, is to not get too invested. Like, again, you know how happy I would have been if Barry or Mike or Calder Lane won the World Championship, or Jelly?
Yeah.
You
would have been nuts.
Obviously, I would have been over the moon for them because they're my friends.
Of course.
But, like, am I gonna care if Tyler Smith or Jackson Erdos or Jay Lewis wins it, or Caleb or Noah or Sam? No. Like, I'm going to be happy for whoever wins it because they're going to have earned it.
Exactly. It's well deserved.
Like, if a course is an appropriate difficulty, you can't fluke a win.
Right.
Like, I like Matt Strollo a lot, but, like, even he was the first to admit he wasn't the second best ninja in the world in 2019. Like, he just happened to beat the monster swing and just happened to beat the angle ladder, which only 2 people did.
Right.
Like, you can absolutely, like, fluke a bad result. Like, there were definitely some people this year.
A lot.
Like,
who whiffed throwback.
I'm thinking, like, even on stage 2.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
Matt
stage
Hall
2.
And Colton Supa and Tom Alberti all beefing metronomes.
Joe Meisner was also kind of a surprise. It was a surprise. Both of the Folsoms going out on stinking X Factor, that was wild. Yeah.
I feel a little bit weird saying this publicly, but I definitely said this to people privately, and there's, not that many people watching. There were some people, and I'm not going to say particular names, because frankly I don't have them for you. But, like, there are some people that got exposed this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Weekend. For, like, not training specific things? Yes.
For not training specific things and or having a move that I've seen you do on Instagram and you can't get it in the comp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, of course, differing circumstances. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Caleb Bergstrom is a bad ninja because he missed your reverse grab. Like, of course he's not. But, like, particularly throwback, and honestly, I kind of felt the way about some people on X Factor. But, like...
Oh, I did as well.
I see you guys do, like, these insane things on Instagram, and then you get to a competition and then can't do something that's easier than what you do on Instagram.
Yep, and I just want to say right now, I know that that's not, like, we know that took hours of practice as well. We know you have the endurance to do so. We know that you didn't just show up to the gym, start recording, and then flashed a move. Like...
Right. No, I mean, and to be clear, like... Those things, like, take insane amounts of skill. Like, to use Teoma's example, Grant McCarthy posted a video of him, like, going off of a trampoline, flipping 2 axes, and then making the catch.
Right.
I sat there and watched him for, like, 30 to 45 minutes.
We were there the whole time. Yep.
It was still awesome when he got it.
Of course. And
it was insanely
even the first time,
I would never be able to do.
Even the first time he did it, because it's not the one that they posted, his feet tapped, and he wanted to do it again without the foot tap. It didn't matter. We were losing our mind. But to respond
he did it Like,
Yeah.
you got a couple foot taps, and you got a couple that were extremely close.
Yeah. To respond to Teoma, it's not that they're exposed because they can't get it first try or whatever like that. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is recently, in the last like year or two, there's been such a huge trend of these Instagram ninjas who only train the cane precision. They only train the big laches. They only train the underbar, bar tech to bear trap to whatever. And like they're training those combos, so they're really good at those, but they whiffed the fundamentals on stage 1 and stage 2 because they've spent so much more time training these insane trick shots that SportsCenter is going to repost that when the time comes to actually get on the course, they're whiffing things that they should be able to do in their sleep, judging off of the difficulty level. That's what we're saying. I want to also like kind of to say something funny, Alex, because
Please.
as someone, of course, who's watched the first 7 World Championships, or I guess seasons 3 to 7, really, because 1 and 2 I was like on and off watching.
1 was pretty good.
Yeah,
Actually, 2 was.
I just never like sat through and watched them all. Like that's I only sat through and watched all of 3 to 7. With that, it's like
Go
it was funny.
Have you at least watched Jeff Britton's run in season
I did.
1?
I did.
Okay.
But basically, when you were talking about like bias and everything, I feel like I'm the opposite way. I can totally hear you, by the way, like get even more excited in your voice when Phil runs. I think it's absolutely hilarious. I think it's like great friend out of you, like you're a great friend and all that.
Oh yeah, like
it's so much more audibly emotional and animated in like the nervous way, the excited way when he succeeds, everything like that. Like it's so because every other time you're so not uncaring, not apathetic, you're just impartial and you're neutral. You know, you treat everyone else the same. For me, I feel like coming into this one, I didn't know anybody. I think I briefly DM'd Jay and I made friends with Ilian like 2 days before he ran stage 1.
Jay's cool.
And so it was
I don't have
and I knew
interactions with Jay, but he's really cool.
Jay's a really nice guy. And then I knew Sam and Isabella and they remembered me and they were like nice and everything, but it's not like we ever like talked a whole bunch. Like
I'll make a passing hello to them.
Yeah. So it was like one of those things where it was like very nice people for sure, but like was I overly attached? No. In my mind, my headspace was dialed at like 100 the entire time because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing commentary for Noah Munier. Oh my gosh, I'm doing commentary for Abby Clark. Oh my gosh, I'm doing commentary for Hollis. I was like, dude, like this is awesome. Like I feel like you were so like fair throughout everything and I was so like excited on the other end of the spectrum.
I don't get starstruck.
I wasn't like getting
everyone I've wanted to meet.
That's fair.
And like I've either known everyone forever or they're a newcomer that I don't know that like
yeah.
Like obviously like, you know, when Philip runs, when my guys run, like yes, I'm more excited for them because they're my close friends, but like when you do it for long enough,
right?
Like I really am impartial. Like I've said multiple times, any of those 3 guys could have won, and I'd be happy about it. And I genuinely mean that.
Yeah.
It's like all 3 of those guys worked really hard, and all 3 of them deserved their success. And Noah absolutely deserved his success. Like he has been waiting for his big breakout moment. He beat stage 3 the first time we were there. He did fantastic in Gauntlet, and he finally got his really big breakout moment. And I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
As I would have been happy for, I don't know, Kevin Rodriguez. I've never met the guy. I would have been really happy for him if he beat stage 3.
He's a great athlete.
Like, absolutely. And Ethan Bartnicki. Like, have I said more than 10 words to Ethan Bartnicki in my life? Maybe. Couldn't tell ya. I would have been over the moon for him to do well.
Yeah.
And I'm over the moon for how well he did anyway. Like, it would be one thing if I was like, Uh, who is like an inoffensive ninja that nobody can be mad at? I'm gonna use Colton because I know Colton
Okay.
decently well. It's like, man, I just really hope Colton doesn't win. Like, there's nobody that I'm like that with.
Right. For me,
Nobody.
I don't think I really got starstruck, and I think that's kind of why I went. That's that. Honestly, that was the main reason I went to NSC. Like, I wanted to experience something live. I wanted to see those courses
Sure.
live and see who won and all that. Um, but really, it was like I wanted to be in the environment, knowing that there was a chance that I was going to be on commentary for elites. Um,
Sure.
I wanted to not be this like. For one, I'm 21. I'm I've far outgrown the whole like starstruck thing, and I can confidently say that like a year ago, the only ninja that ever would have had me starstruck to this day is Nagano, and maybe Shingo. Um, with that said, I was like,
I'd probably be starstruck around any of the Japanese guys.
oh, absolutely, I
But
totally
like,
get that. Nagano, Takeda, and Shingo. Those are like the three I'd be like, oh, holy crap.
yeah, fuck you, Bunpei.
Yeah, no. um, but those are like my three growing up, you know. So it was like,
Sure.
but anyways, for this, I was like, I've heard so many stories about you and Philip. You know, we've talked, and you've been like, they're just kids, like they're dudes. The coaches are coaches. They try to make a living. You know, they're people, and you know, it's like once I got out of college and I was living that type of life, I was like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's just that instead of working at a restaurant, they're working at ninja gyms. Like
Sure.
it's the same thing. So it was very easy for me to like go into NSC with that mindset so I could like meet everybody, get a couple pictures, be like, "Hey, love what you do. You're really good at it. Could I get a picture?" And that's all I needed. I got it out of my system, and then when I got to Worlds, it wasn't so much the people, it was just the atmosphere in general, like the experience of it, of being in there with everything going on constantly. That was when I was like, dang, like that's when I started to get like overly excited.
It's very overwhelming.
It is, but like in the best way possible. So, I get what you mean though. Like it can be tough to like I think next year I'm going to be so much more level. Like I still I still love this sport. I'm still going to love this sport just as much as I love it now. Unless something really, really bad happens to me, which I doubt. I hope not. But like I'm gonna come back with the same level of excitement to next year's Worlds. I'm gonna come in with the same level of excitement to the Premier Series this summer. Um, and I just want to bring that energy regardless. It might sound different now that I've been to one of these events and now that I've worked one of these events and helped out and I understand um, what everyone is really doing. Um, so it might sound a little different. It might sound a little more professional, which I think is a good thing. But I want to make sure that that passion and that excitement never really leaves my voice. I think my thing with this with like wanting to do the YouTube stuff and wanting to do this WNL thing and wanting to commentate and all that stuff. My goal has always just been to get people excited. Um, just because I think we're kind of missing that right now. I think the sport in general is very good at catering to the athletes in multiple leagues, but no one gets like excited the way they used to anymore. You know what I'm saying? They get it's turned into different gyms forming different groups, friend groups, cliques if you want to call them that, but I think that sounds a little too negative. But like the community now has their little factions, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's what happens when you live in different areas of the world. Um, but it's one of those things where like the camaraderie's not gone. It's just less prevalent than before. And I wanna bring that back as in even just the smallest way. And I think that's why I don't know if you heard about the J stuff at the beginning of this stream, Alex, but like when Jay was saying like it's really good that like they're hiring like fans that are also, you know, doing work and will put in the work and want to be here. And he was saying that to me, like that again, that made my whole day, that made my weekend, quite frankly, because it was like the thing that I set out to accomplish, it's at least present and people can at least notice it. Even if it's not completely well done, that's fine. It was my first one, first time really getting to try that. But it was a good indicator to me that whatever I was doing, I was doing right. So I don't know. It's
Okay,
one of those things where I want to
I'm
perfect
gonna
it for next year.
counter your argument.
All right.
We are a very, very small percentage of the community. And
Absolutely.
I mean we as in like us two, Ninja Masters,
Oh man.
you know, people that watch your I realize adding people that watch your channel into this is kind of a burn, and I don't mean it that
No,
way.
no.
But
I did the math on Soapbox, and we're 0.0016% if we're counting SMF and the Reddits and the Ninja Masters. Like we're small.
I'm even talking about like WNL competitors, like, or I'm sorry, I'm talking about like us versus people that do WNLs and their families. Like,
Yeah.
we are an extremely small percentage, at like the active TNM users versus people that do Ninja. You know,
Yeah.
even just in this country.
Yeah. I
So,
completely
like,
get it.
The evolution of the sport has meant that some of the, you know, quote unquote OGs, there are still a lot around, and honestly, I respect the hell out of Joe Moravsky for coming to Worlds every single year. And he still takes it really seriously and, like, has every right to not take it seriously, you know?
Yeah.
Like, compared to it, who do I want to throw under the bus? But, like, you know, people, you know, that aren't going to win the show have kind of moved on with their lives. It's like, you know, well, I'm not going to win the show. I'm getting older. I have a family. A guy like a Sean Bryan.
Okay.
I like Sean Bryan.
Okay.
Him and I have some different thoughts on things, but that's not... Oh, you're Telma. My man, can you not upload individual WNL runs, because we're going to be doing that next week. So, I would really appreciate it if you
Yeah,
put those on the
we
list, so
we
that
gotta
can...
talk about that as well, because I gotta upload my stuff as well. I was like, how are we gonna? Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
talk about
well,
the
we'll
upload
do it
schedule.
next
We'll talk
week
about the
or in 2
upload
weeks.
schedule. Yeah, later on.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. But yeah, I would appreciate if you would let us handle that. Yeah. Oh yeah, we will. We will. No, don't you worry about that. But like, if anyone off the street were to ask me what I do for a living, which, by the way, for those who are unaware, for as long as I've been around this, I started working for the WNL full-time last week. It was always working on the side or not working at all.
Right.
Until last week. But if anyone off the street were to ask me, I have an answer prepared, and it's... I work in logistics for a youth sports organization. As kids,
I also say youth sports organization for when people ask what my second job is.
Right. Just to be clear, everybody, 80% of WNL athletes are youth.
Yeah.
And it gets... Hey, no need to apologize, my man. You didn't know. It's all right.
Oh yeah, you're good, Teoma. No worries. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Don't sweat, my man. And I
foul,
appreciate
no.
that you're being cool about it. Because until I realized that I was going to have to talk to somebody who, like, you know, didn't know how I was going to reach out to them, like, felt kind of weird about it, but I'm glad we were able to talk it out, and I'm glad you're cool about it. So yeah, don't sweat me, dude. As kids, we looked up to Nagano, we looked up to Takeda, because naturally as kids you look up to adults. As adults you don't look up to kids. And that's probably a lot of the resentment that we're getting around team competitors, because we, the fans, are getting older, and we're, seeing people that are younger than us now. It blows my mind, being a 29-year-old, that the majority of NFL players are younger than I am. But, so when a Caden Lebsack does well on A&W, and he's 17, and, I'm a 29-year-old, of course I'm going to look at that differently than when I was 13 and looking up to Nagano and looking up to, even Yuji, because, I was, still in high school when Yuji won his 2 championships.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. There's a good amount of A&W fans right now as well who are they're on the younger side. They're 15 or younger, and their favorites are the teens because it's their thing. And I'm
they're relatable.
I was I'm not gonna get starstruck. I'm older than half of them. That'd just be weird.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel weird talking to those people in general because I'm so much older than them. I feel a little weird talking to Jackson Eros in a post-Drew Drexel world. It should be abundantly obvious that I have no ill intentions when I message Jackson Eros, but
right.
I'm 29 and he's 16?
Something like
15?
that. No, he's 16 or 17.
So yes, naturally, we view the current generation of people who do really good in the sport differently than we viewed Nagano and Joe Moravsky and Drew and Jeff Britton when we were kids. So, we say that it's clickier, but it's really not. It's more accessible than it's ever been. People are, in general, nicer, and
definitely.
Honestly, I kind of want to root for them more than I used to, because, on TV it's oh, well, they're showing Matisse Awadi again. I want him to fail, but, which, everybody, the Matisse Awadi hate was a meme. Can I post edits W compilations for moments? Yeah, sure, go ahead. But, naturally, the current generation of people who are doing really good in the sport are the Oliver Lutmans and the Corinne Capriati's and the Charlie... Dude, Charlie Ball had, one of the most insane performances, ever.
I was going to say, I'm making an article that's going to be, the top 10 moments from Worlds. Charlie Ball's, it's not does he make the list? It's where in the top 5 is he? Because that was insane. But
the only things I will let you put over Charlie Ball are Noah, Tyler, and Addie beating the piss out of everyone.
That's fair, because I think those
usually some.
I will say
I think Addie did it.
I think that you're sleeping on Isabella's rerun, just the whole stage 1 fiasco with her in general.
I feel like that's a bad thing to draw attention to. Because it's an obstacle malfunction.
I guess, but at the same time, I think it's a good way to spin the athlete's accomplishments into a positive light. So, I'm probably still going to include it.
That's fair.
But, yeah, no, I get what you mean, for sure. Kind of nice being 21 right now, I guess. All the teen competitors that everyone looks up to, they're not necessarily teens anymore. Some of them are 19, 20. So, I'm only, a few years older than them. It's not
there's
as
definitely
weird.
Something a little different about if I have to message Jay Lewis, although
right.
I forget that he's an adult now.
Right. Well, yeah, you forget he's an adult because he's, 18 or 19.
Him, get well soon when he got injured, but...
Right.
I'm like, should I be messaging this to a 17-year-old? And now it's like, oh, right, he's 19. That was totally
Yeah.
fine.
And that's the other thing.
But,
Like sometimes when they're pushed as like the teen competitors, it's like, no, I'm only 2 years older than some of them, 3 years older.
right.
Like Vance Walker's 18 now. I'm 3 years older than Vance Walker. It's like it doesn't seem as weird as when I was like 18 and I was watching A&W Junior and he was like 14 or 15. Like, yeah, not as weird. And so it's like I feel like now that they're all kind of falling into that age group of uh, sociable young adults who aren't like rude. Um, it's like it's a little easier to like talk to people. I have a hard time talking to people my age in general. So like
I have a hard time
I don't
talking to
know.
people.
That's fair. But
There's
then
a
like
reason
but
I
then
let
I'm
you handle
also
the camaraderie with the French people, because, like,
that's fair. Ilian's only 25 and I'm 21. Like that's the other thing. Everyone older than me, it's either like I've been a fan of you forever or we're close enough in age to where we could hang out. Like it's fine. And that's the other thing. Like if I was put in different scenarios with those different like I guess generations of competitors, you know, it wouldn't be completely weird that I'm hanging out with a lot of them because I'm close enough in age. But you bring up like a post Drew Dressel world, there are definitely moments where I'm like, I'm not going to congratulate Charlie Ball because I think it would be kind of weird if I congratulated a kid I've never met who's 11 years younger than me. But
I I mean, it's obviously like one thing entirely when you build rapport with the athletes. Like,
right,
talked a lot to my athletes that have coach, and it's
right,
like, I want you to do really well. I ran off commentary to give an Iron City kid a high five when she beat stage one.
yep,
Like, I walked through some strategy with some of my kids, like, after the course was public knowledge. Don't worry, everybody. Here's a story I probably shouldn't tell, but um, I'll tell it anyway because this is a small audience. So there was a kid that got lost and he got separated from his family. I guess he
oh,
was his parents thought he was with his brother, and this is like a 5-year-old kid. His parents thought he was with his brother, but his brother had to go compete in skills, and so he got separated. You know what the first thing? Do you know this story, Kane?
this happened like the first night, right?
I don't know for
I
sure when this
I
happened.
made
I
some
thought
sort
it
of
was
I
Saturday.
know I made some sort of joke, not like a joke, but like just this little comment where I was like, "Man, it's been like 3 hours since doors are open and someone's already lost," and I said that to like one of my friends from Level Up or something.
I don't know.
But yeah,
To be clear, the kid was fine and in
yeah,
good spirits the
yeah.
whole time. Everybody, so like, I don't want to bury that, but um, the first thing that kid did is he went up to Daniel Gill because it was a face he recognized,
Mm-hmm.
and Daniel was, a huge pro about it, and took him to Info Hub, calmed him down, chatted him up for a little bit. And the kid, for the record, the whole time was like bubbly and talking to the staff. But the thing is, he couldn't say his last name because he had like a complicated last name. But in a post Drew Drexel world, it is a little bit concerning that some his first instinct would be to go up to a competitor that they've seen on TV, because you know what Daniel did was absolutely the right thing to do, and I
Yes.
would hope that all of the ninjas would make that decision, but not every ninja would have.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Drew might have even Drew has his limits.
Yep. Yeah,
But like,
I get what you mean.
it's a little concerning that that's what it comes to in a post-Drew world. But like, I just thought it was a really cool move for Daniel to
Yeah,
help that kid out.
of course. And to respond to Teoma in the chat saying that we're overthinking it, I mean we are and we aren't. It's one of those things where it's like it didn't hit the like everyone talks about like, oh, how much did Drew getting arrested affect the show? It didn't. It affected the leagues. It affected the sport. it affected
Honestly, it really didn't.
it
We were totally fine.
it didn't, but it kind of did. Like there were people who were, um, I mean, there were programs about like coaches being responsible and new rules about like coaches interacting with athletes, and not every gym is in on it,
I
but
see. So
there's a good amount of them.
Okay, I see. Because like honestly, in hindsight, I view him not being in our community anymore as a positive.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's just one of those
Both
things where it's
for
like,
his victim parenthesis s and parenthesis, and for the fact that you know it's
the
forced
community's
us
a safer
it
place.
forced us into losing our innocence. It forced us
Right.
into making positive change. We probably wouldn't have done the coaching certification
Right.
and done all of the safe sport stuff if it weren't for the fact that somebody abused that power.
Right. And it's one of those things where it's like,
all kinds of protocols for when somebody goes on to abuse that power again.
yeah, and again, like I think you said that perfectly. It wasn't something that negatively impacted entirely. Like obviously there are victims in that situation and it's awful, but at the same
Right.
time, like we use that we use these lessons in a constructive way. It's still like there was still an impact there, and it was still something that like it is something that we do kind of have to think about. Like Alex was saying, we have to do certifications, especially the coaches and everything, and we have to know. So it's one of those things where like even if you don't, like I haven't filled any of that stuff out. I'm not a coach. There's a chance that I might be a coach next season, and I'm gonna have to take that stuff. Um, it's still something that you have to be wary of, considering 80% of the athletes running on 6 different courses, 4 or 5 of them are going to be of kids. So it's like you do kind of have to think about it. You definitely don't have to overthink it. You should just generally know what's right and wrong. But at the same time, there was definitely, yeah, like Alex said, there was a lesson there. There was a lesson.
Yeah. We have made positive changes because of it. And I mean, I've also dealt with Drew behind the scenes and have some thoughts on him. So,
yeah.
I was somewhat involved in 2019 Worlds, so yeah, yeah.
I had to explain to Billy today what happened at that Worlds, just on the course and stuff. He didn't know what it was about.
There was somebody else who was talking about it today or yesterday, wasn't there?
I don't know. Yeah, Teoma, he designed the course. He ran that season basically. That was season 4. Yeah, season 4. Season 4 in 2019.
With Monster Swing.
Yeah, season 4 2019, when everyone was failing either the first or third obstacle and only 7 adults cleared stage 1. That was Drew's course. That was Drew's brain, and he was walking around in a ref shirt for the entire event.
I could write a book about it, and someday I plan on writing a book about it, but there was so much behind the scenes that I don't think people realized that made it much, much worse.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know what happened to Vance Walker at that Worlds, be glad you have innocence. And you and I can talk off stream, so I don't think you know that story.
I do not. I actually just DM'd you to tell me that when it's over.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I actually should get some water, and I think, I don't know, I think we've streamed it up enough.
Yeah, that's true. We're coming up on 3 hours. We actually have gained viewers in the last, 20 minutes.
That's interesting.
But maybe we're hitting the late night. We're hitting the night owls. In terms of content, I'm gonna close it out there. I guess go check out. Go check out the World Ninja League YouTube. Next week, I'm gonna be uploading separately some of the advertisements we had. I've got there's 5 interviews. It was Daniel Gill, Joe Moravsky, Isabella Wakeham, Sam Folsom, and Caleb Bergstrom. I'm going to do a little video on the course design one. I already did one with Kevin Carbone. I'm going to merge that with the owner of DGS, so that way it's like a whole thing crediting DGS for doing all the obstacle work. I'm also going to be doing episode 4 of the World Ninja League podcast. I'm recording that this coming week. It's going to be with Tyler Smith and Addie Herman, our 2 world champions. So that'll be really cool. Let me leave the Discord. There we go. TSN, I'm going to be in a video that drops literally tomorrow. And then I'll be in another video this coming week. And then uploads-wise on this channel, hopefully I'll get back in the gym more to do some like shorts and fun stuff like that. We'll see. But you'll get a vlog about Level Up, the international competition, and like meeting some friends at Open Gym. And then a second vlog about Worlds, working, meeting people, doing fun activities at Worlds. And it's going to be a great time. After that is going to be like an A&W review or something. So we're popping off, guys. We're having a great yeah, it's going to be a great time. We're firing on all cylinders once again. There's going to be a lot to do between now and October. October, I'm going to be pretty quiet because that's when I go back to Hawaii for my wedding. So I'll be kind of a ghost in October, but then I'm going to come back a married man. So, yeah, go check out TSN tomorrow because I'll be in a video for that. And that's it, I guess. Thanks for watching. See you next time.